Vandals and everybody else out there lurking in the shadows. This is a brand new, supernatural, just spooky episode of How Did We Get Here? Crossed over with For One Night Only. And I'm not going to hog the introduction. I'm going to turn it over to Tara and let her explain kind of what we're up to this wild Friday the 13th.
Well, thanks, Johnny, and thanks for bringing us in. And I love the crossover introduction, by the way, with For One Night Only and How We Get Here. So tonight we are here to talk about some spooky things from Friday the 13th, from the movie franchise Friday the 13th to our superstitions and what we think about all that kind of stuff.
So you guys were really smart when you came up with your name, because like it breaks down into a neat little word. You guys got FONO. Like if we tried to do that with ours, we'd be like, herd.
Yeah, for the longest time when Joe would send me emails, I just was like, oh, this must be like junk mail, because it was like hubba 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 JJ, and I'm like, what is this? And that was unintended. FONO, I didn't even know it spelled something until I got tired of typing For One Night Only. So
it's catchy.
Yeah, it fits with the YOLO and all that shit.
And that's what we do all day, every day.
BOGO, buy one get one. My favorite is BOGO Ho, buy one get one half off.
Oh, I hate
BOGO
that. I
Ho.
need it all the way off.
Yeah.
I'll do a buy two get one, but buy one get one half off. Nah.
Or at least buy two get one
I
free.
literally just did that with some yarn, so can't talk about it.
All right, so I guess we could go around and introduce the regular cast for One Night Only, if people aren't familiar, which I'd assume most people that are tuning in to either shore is probably familiar with most people here. But we have Tara, Elle, and Liana. They're regulars on the For One Night Only, which is a pretty fun show that Johnny and I have participated on quite a few times, where we what is it? Themes like the last one you did was what? True crime?
It was wonderful.
Yeah, I had to sit out of that one, but from what I heard, it was quite the fun episode.
The best part was Elle talking about her toilet paper, man. Like I don't even know
That
how
was-
that got brought up, but that was the
Because
truth.
you guys are all going to jail for your opinions, and you know, once Joe clears up his warrants, he'll be able to do a true crime episode with us.
I really think we should do a part 2 of that. I think there's just
Oh
so
yeah, it
much
was
to talk
fun.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't get to all the stuff.
And for people tuning to For One Night Only, if you're not familiar with How'd We Get Here, it's Johnny and I. We usually talk about mainly comics. We'll do movies and shows, and sometimes I don't know, some other stuff on occasion. Like we're going to be doing a new one that Adrian came up with called My Precious, where we're going to just dig into our collection and pick out the stuff that we love from our collection, do a show and tell. So we're doing stuff like that.
Can you say that title in the voice though?
We're gonna, well, Adrian and I are gonna practice. I don't know if Johnny's gonna practice. We're all gonna give our own version, because I think if we actually pulled the actual version off the movie, we'd probably get flagged maybe for copyright. So we're gonna do an imitation of it. That way we'll avoid any getting flagged from YouTube and stuff.
My precious.
Then finish with a cough. So we have 3 regulars here. Myself, Johnny, and Adrian is a very frequent collaborator of How'd We Get Here. So so that's pretty much our panel for tonight. Yeah. So Friday the 13th. So we figured what better subject matter than superstitions, because and it falls in October, which is makes it extra special because of the ties to the movies and just the the story behind the superstitions of Friday the 13th, how it's bad luck and all that stuff. And it's usually pagan, old religions that kind of make these superstitions bad omens or bad luck and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, and is
Actually,
there
one of my favorite Disney cartoons is this old Donald the Duck one that takes place on Friday the
Donald
13th.
the Duck.
Donald
Interesting.
the Duck, yes.
and the Star
Donald Duck.
War?
Is that not how you say his name?
Star of the War.
Is
Yeah.
it not Donald the Duck?
Thought it was just Donald Duck.
Donald Duck.
He knows that, right?
Howard the Duck.
A bit.
Howard
No,
gets the.
Yeah, it's a bit.
You're right.
It's a
You're
bit,
right,
Liam,
Tara.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was concerned.
Ever since Megan, he's been the-ing everybody.
Oh, with 2 E's too. I like that for Donald.
Sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
It's all right.
Sorry.
So is anyone on the panel here superstitious at all? Do you believe any superstitions or?
So
It depends how stoned I am and how late at night it is. And how like creepy the noise my cats just made was. You know what I mean? Like,
That's definitely a factor.
then I'll believe anything's out there. But yeah, like most of the time I'm pretty leveled. But like, yeah, certain times of night with certain stimuli, like I'll be like, oh my god, I don't want to go out there.
yeah, I don't split the pole. I don't know.
Me too. That was my thing.
Yeah, I don't split the pole.
But I couldn't find it written that way.
Do those count? Like making wishes at 11:11? Is that a thing?
I hope so.
You know I hate that shit.
I know you hate it.
11:11.
Wait, you ready for this? So you can hate me. I was born at 11/11.
Hey!
You are the wish that came true.
Yeah, on a Saturday night.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
I have my 13 is my favorite number since I was a little kid, and anytime the number 13 would pop up, my dad would give me $13. So I've always willed it into existence. Like, I just need 13 more dollars, right? So it's always been like my lucky number, much like Leah's Lord and Savior, Taylor Swift. And so I'm all for it, but also I can't differentiate superstition versus my diagnosed OCD. So I don't know if I'm like, oh, is this being superstitious that I'm, closing my door and locking it 3 times? Or is it my
You could call it
illness?
I hear you. Like, I'm a big believer in karma and dogma, but yeah, I wouldn't say I'm superstitious, but like I do like read a lot into like stuff coming back around.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I'm very much like
Very karma.
I try not to
Karma?
put.
Y'all believe in karma?
Yeah, big time.
I think, yeah, because today I stole some copy paper.
Yeah, we know you did. Hold on, let me start recording.
Because I needed some copy paper, and so I stole it, right? And I was like, he ain't gonna miss this. And I put it in there, and I had some leftover paper, and I was like,
Disclaimer: she does work somewhere where there is copy paper, so it's not like she
It's
went
like
to
a whole
Staples.
So much.
Yes, sorry. I wasn't stealing from.
Yeah.
It's from your work. It's not from a store.
Workplace stealing isn't stealing. It's
I'm
utilizing your resources.
That's right.
be up in that book room. Anyway, so yeah, I had to replace it because I was like, if I don't replace this, something bad's gonna happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other things. Okay, so anyways, let's just keep going. Keep talking.
There's some things I wish you were superstitious about, but
Me too.
That's another show.
Like I will be like, wait, where are we? What is this rated today? Are we rated? Are we G? PG?
I think if you grew up playing sports, you tend to lean a little bit towards the superstition because, like people, they won't shave during the playoffs. They won't, or if they do something and they do win, they keep doing that same routine thinking it's lucky or, that's a common occurrence with sports or athletes, I think. And I don't know why, but I think it's just inherent in when it comes to sports. As for the number 13, it's pretty common because when Europeans started coming over to play hockey, because I'm Canadian, so I watch a lot of hockey. A lot of Europeans wore the number 13. Like, I don't know if they don't regard it as unlucky. So, like in hockey, you see the number 13 all over the place, right? Everyone wears number 13. So, yeah. So I don't know.
Well, in my particular neighborhood where I grew up, the number 13 was kind of unlucky, but I grew up in a Nortania neighborhood.
I was about to say different.
Break it down.
That's the reason why I wouldn't like report the number where I grew up. You know what I mean?
He didn't want to be affiliated, y'all.
Like, what other superstitions? There's the black cat thing that goes back to
I
old
love
Christian
don't you
times.
hate cats.
I hate
Don't
cats. I
you
love
hate
black
cats. I don't
I
want to
love
even
black
get
cats.
started
I
because
love-
she
I
told
don't care.
me
I don't care.
okay.
You tell me.
Who
You
you-
can tell
shh.
people.
Shh. We're in company today.
We're in public.
Professionals.
Yeah, we're with professionals today.
Because from what I read way back in the day, before Christianity started becoming super popular, Wiccan or witchcraft or whatever you wanted to call it, was a fairly popular religion. And when Christianity started to become more popular, from what I've read, they viewed the witches as competition, so they started to like hunt them and kill them off. And then because Wiccans or whatever, they've got a very close ties to nature, like in their religion, like a balance and respecting like your environment, nature, and all that stuff. So like animals like cats and stuff, they had like strong connections. So it was considered like a bad omen. Like they could transform into a cat, or the devil could transform into a cat, and that's how like black cats became bad luck, because they were bad omens. So a bad omen turned into bad luck over time, and that's how like the black cat thing came about.
No, Leah, I was laughing because you mentioned Salem, and for the longest time I thought it was Salem, Oregon. And so when we went through Salem, Oregon to get to Washington, I told my husband, I was like, let me get off and take some pictures with my people. And then he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, the witches. And he was like, that's fucking Massachusetts. And I was like, oh, shit.
Okay.
Funny.
But the woods in Salem are like spooky too. So I was like, clearly somebody's been burned here.
Imagine you're a big fan. You're like, and you want to really, and you planned a whole trip to go to Salem to see the witches, and you went to Oregon, and you're like, what the fuck? You bought like plane tickets, reserved the hotel room and everything, and you get there, and it's like.
Because that's definitely what happened. We hopped off the train, and I was like, look at all these trees. Like, I'm with my people. And he was like, you're absolutely not. I don't know why you thought that. And I was like, there's another Salem? I'm from the West Coast.
The other
though,
Salem.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you could market it as the other Salem.
And you know, what's funny is after I like looked into the other Salem, I was like, ooh, I would never go there. Ew.
Oh. I thought it was supposed to be like pretty in the fall.
But I'm just more of a West Coast fall girly. I'm not into the East Coast fall shit. No, thank you.
I am.
You're humid still. Like, no, I need dry heat.
It is unpredictable.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That is too.
We have that. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. Sarah.
No, it was nothing. It was nothing important. I was just going to say we have like 1 week where it's nice in the middle on the east.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
it goes from too hot to too cold really fast. That's all.
Yeah.
We have fake fall here in Georgia. So.
Yeah, fake fall is the thing.
You're from the Northeast, right, Tara?
Yep, I'm in Delaware. So south of Philly, for those who have no idea where Delaware is.
How spooky does Delaware get? Like, I know that like certain parts of New England are pretty terrifying in the fall times. Like, does Delaware get spooky, or is it always just kind of Delaware-y?
We have Delaware.
Delaware.
Well, it is Delaware most of the time, but there are some spooky places, and like a lot of places you can go from here to take spooky tours. Like I've been on some of the ghost tours in Old Newcastle and all that kind of stuff. And we're near the what's it called, the Eastern Penitentiary that does that big Halloween thing. I don't know why people would want to go through an abandoned penitentiary in Halloween, because I'm too scaredy for all that.
You know what Delaware gives? What's that story? The famous one, about the neighbor girl who's kept in the basement of her neighbor.
Did that happen there? Like,
I don't know, but it gives that vibes. It gives like familiar. It gives like familiar horror and neighbor kidnapping. Yeah.
This is coming from Elle, who's never been to Delaware.
No, I've never been to Delaware, and you know what's so funny? A couple years ago, I was like, oh, where should we live? And I googled like up and coming multicultural centers, and it was like, oh, so many young black families are moving to Delaware. I said, what? And then I met Tara, and I said, Tara, is this true? I've heard of Delaware, obviously, but capital Dover? No.
Yeah, it is. That
It
is
is?
the capital.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fifth
no,
grade,
yeah.
fifth grade. Okay, come through. But yeah, I was outside of that. I have no cognizance of what Delaware is, except for it sounds like
I
they're
feel
one
like
of
we
those
should
true
cancel
crime
everybody.
stories with kids involved.
I
I
believe
think
it's
Delaware, and I think George Washington. Why?
Why?
Oh, crossing the Delaware.
Oh,
Crossing
yeah.
Delaware, yeah, the
There you
famous
go.
That
one.
is it.
They
That
have
is it.
reenactments. They have
Yeah.
reenactments.
No, really?
The
They
big
do?
G
Yeah, every
dub.
winter.
Yeah.
I
know.
And
think
it almost
Delaware
always
is,
gets canceled for weather. It's kind of funny. They're
if
like,
I'm not
really? December,
mistaken,
it's cold? Sorry, Joe.
Delaware is one of the lowest tax states in the U.S. as well.
Yeah, we
right?
don't have sales tax.
Yeah.
We don't have
Yeah.
state tax up here.
Really?
No, I'm lying. We don't have income tax stuff. Like, we don't pay state taxes.
Really?
Yeah,
And
something
we
like
pay
that.
those, but we don't pay sales tax. So if you want to come shopping, this is the place.
Okay, Leah.
Oh, nice.
Max out that Michael's card.
Come on up.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
The only thing I remember about Delaware is remember, was it Wayne's World 1 when
Yeah.
they're doing like a
Oh, yeah,
montage
they
when they're
do
in front
that.
of all these states, right? They go through all these states, whatever. They got like they end up in Delaware. Hey,
Yeah.
we're in Delaware. Just like
First
And in
date.
hindsight, you realize it was because it was weird to say that they were in Delaware.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
what's the
There was-
capital of Delaware?
Isn't what?
What's the capital of Delaware?
Dover. Dover.
Oh, okay.
Dover?
Okay.
Yeah.
Dover.
That's where all the government stuff is down there.
Get it right.
Right?
Are we doing a check-in? Let's do a check-in.
Yeah.
How did we get here? Because we're like 20, 30, 45 minutes in. So let's do a check-in.
20 minutes. Everybody looks
Yeah.
at the clock.
Well, I mean, most people's check-ins are going to be like Halloween, probably related or flavored. I'm assuming.
Ooh, not flavored. He said scented.
It's a season. It's this candy season, man. You give out candy, right? So. All right, Al, you're so anxious to go. Go.
Okay, so anytime Flanagan drops the show, I'm gonna binge it on day one. Flanagan and Black Mirror are the only two things you can get me to watch in one day nowadays. And The Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah, I think I'm 2 or 3 in. Yeah.
Chef's kiss. And what I love about it, I'm not gonna spoil anything. What I love about it is I saw a comment from somebody on TikTok. And it was like, it was a bit on the nose. And I said, you stupid bitch. The Fall of the House of Usher. She said, it's a bit on the nose.
No, she didn't.
She did.
No.
And I was
trying to work-
screaming.
Trying to work Usher into it somewhere because he needs to be in it.
And I was like, no, this is perfect. It was fantastic. If you're like a Poe fan, it's really good. There's a lot of like...
He came up here. There's a tavern named after him. The Deer Park
yeah?
Tavern is named after. Yeah. They have a stuffed crow and everything. A raven. Did I say crow? I meant raven.
Nevermore.
He was a
stayed there.
Baltimore boy, right? So like,
Yeah, he was right up. That's like an hour south of us. So
Wait, question.
Mm-hmm.
That story is the one about the wife trapped in the walls, right? Or no?
that's the Cask of Amontillado. No, not the Cask of Amontillado.
I will say
that's
this.
House of Heart or something.
It is
Because that's
it
a
is
Poe story, right?
so
Yeah, it is.
the Fall of the House of Usher, the show is the poem is it's not very long. Like the story is very short. But so it is like an amalgamation, is that the word? Come on, comic book nerds.
Amalgamation.
It is a mashup of all of
There you
like
go.
a bunch of his stories, a bunch of the poems. So you are gonna have like, oh, that's from this and this is from that. And so if you're like a real like literature buff and nerd, it's like really cool.
is it a period or does it take place nowadays?
Both. It takes place from
that's nice.
1950 to now.
So wait. Is it
Just
I'm
like
sorry.
Friday 13th.
like
1950 is a
rundown?
period, huh?
Like a rundown. Like is each episode like its own thing or
No.
No, it's a story, and they do back flashes to when they were
Yeah.
kids, to when they're young adults, and to
Oh,
when they're older with their children.
No,
Oh.
Flanagan does Flanagan, and it is like the first half of the episode is mostly going to be what's happening right now, and maybe minutely in the past, like very vaguely in the past. But the second half is usually like like what happened in the 70s, 80s, 50s, and then, but even that is like flipped because the first episode, when I tell you, and I texted Leah 20 minutes in and I was already rewinding because if it's a Flanagan show, you're going to be looking for ghosts in the background.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, no, go back. And so, but I really enjoyed it. It's probably like if I told Leah my ranking already, like it's like Hill House still, Hill House, Midnight Mass, this, Bly Manor. I'm lying already, huh?
No,
it's
you're not.
Hill House.
Hill House. You said Hill House, Midnight Mass, House of Usher,
House of Usher,
and Midnight Club.
Midnight Club is I never finished. I don't care.
Oh, I
But
played Midnight Club on the Xbox.
yeah, well, I mean, they're both. Well, you know, that one was based on the Christopher Pike series, the YA series. So it was kind of, unless you want to watch a bunch of kids die of like cancer and terminal illnesses, like it's not for you.
Wow. Okay. I'm out.
Yeah. Right. Right. But yeah, it was really good. Watched it, finished it last night right before midnight. Saw faces in the bathroom floor the rest of the night.
Oh no.
See, that's the type of horror I can't do. So remember yesterday we were talking about like, oh no, it's today. I can do like slasher films. I can do.
No, you said, this is what she said. She said I could do horror that's like not like reality based, but then she says slasher, and I'm like, Ted Bundy literally like massacred a sorority.
No, but what I mean,
he said, but he wasn't wearing a silly mask. I'm like, what?
I'm not being silly with it. Like, like Michael Myers, you look silly. Like, come on. I'm not.
It's
No,
very much
Over a certain height, it's silly.
It's scary.
Slasher, I don't know. I'm just.
Scream is hilarious to me. Like, that's
No. I went back and watched Scary Movie a couple days ago, or attempted to, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid. And I'm like watching it. I'm like, this is just one cum joke after another for 2 hours almost. And I was like, the first couple ones, I was like, because I remembered from when I was a kid, and even the joke about the black news, that was hilarious. And I was like, even Jade was like, I let her watch that one clip because obviously she can't watch any of the rest of it.
Because Gail wears Prada shoes.
Yeah.
It was so, and I was watching, and I'm like, oh my, I thought this was like one of the best movies ever made when I was a kid.
Well, we all did. We all did.
But it doesn't, in hindsight, like after watching it now as an adult, I'm like, oh, I was cringing. I was like, oh, if I see one more boob joke, one more penis joke, I'm out of here. But that's the whole movie. So
yeah,
good to know.
Yeah, doesn't hold up. Don't watch it with mom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've had enough trauma. Thank you.
What?
Yeah.
Bobby's got a baby dick too?
Wait, who has a baby
What?
dick? I'm just kidding.
You said you just watched Scary Movie. That's like
No,
all
I
wrote
did.
down.
I was feigning.
Okay.
I was feigning.
But I
You
know
can
what
tell from her facial expressions, Johnny.
I understand what Leo was saying though, man. There is a huge difference between like your cornball like slasher movie and like true crime,
that's
like
true.
realistic, like murder. Like they're like one of my favorite things is in Friday the 13th, what was it, Part 7, and then he also does it in Jason X. He puts the girl in a sleeping bag and whaps her up against a tree. It's hysterically funny, and like, yeah, dude, like it's projecting a real life crime that I guess could happen, but like it's so far removed from reality.
For which I heard that 7 Kill was not bloody because that was when the ratings crisis was happening. So that's the only reason why it was so funny in number 7, because they couldn't have the gore.
Yeah, like stuff like Chucky, Scream, that doesn't scare me. But like Hill House,
is that my aunt too?
I'm
just kidding. I'm just kidding, Joe.
It might be. Yeah, it would be from that side of the family, actually. Yeah, it would. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it would be from the side of the family you'd be related to.
That.
Go ahead, Leah. Sorry. Go ahead, Leah.
No, I'm done. Like I was just saying, like Hill House, I can't watch that in the dark. That to this day still scares me. Can't do it.
I need to be emotionally traumatized in horror. I want to be so depressed when I'm done with it, and just like think about it for days later. Like what is my? That's why I love A24, because I'm just like, man, what if I did that to my sister and fed her peanut butter?
So you're saying that the show's not as good as Midnight Mass, because that's the only one of this guy's stuff I tried to watch, and like I don't know. I got like 4 episodes in, and like I was kind of starting to like the preacher, and then like what happened to him happened, and I was just like,
I was a big fan of the monologue and the religious monologuing in Midnight Mass, just because I'm agnostic, and so I could appreciate like both perspectives of like believers and non-believers. So I really did like Midnight Mass for that, and I did like those creepy ass like Nosferatu ass bat vampires. But like Hill House for me will always be number one. Just the emotional impact.
Yeah,
just my stomach hurts thinking about Hill House. And then Follow the House Usher was number 3 because I think it was the first time where he's went into a TV series project, and it's just all out revenge, like evil to be evil, bad to be bad, like it is what it is. And it wasn't like there was no empathy for anybody, but I still felt for everybody. So that's why I liked it, because it was everything else he really pulls at the heartstrings. Like you're really gonna feel for a certain character, but this one I was like, I don't care. And Mark Hamill was fantastic as the lawyer, as Arthur Pym. He was chef's kiss, fantastic.
I'm with you. I Hill House definitely number 1, and unlike Johnny, I really enjoyed the Midnight Mass. So like number 2 for sure. And I haven't finished the Fall of the House of Usher. I think we're 3 episodes in, so we probably still have 8 episodes this season.
The number of times I had to tell my kids, get out. This season is incredibly horny. I was like, please get out.
No. Thanks for the warning. I'll watch that alone.
Yes, don't watch it with her. It's very gory. It's very
no, she would not have it.
It's not for everyone. But also I feel like he's very restrained in the eroticism, because it goes to a certain point, but it never goes to the point where it feels exploitative or like shock value
or invasive.
Never that. Very tastefully done for what it was.
While we're talking about, like, I would not mind watching Hill House again. Like, I think it would be my 3rd time watching it if I did.
I watched it like 3 times. Yeah,
it's that good to me, and I feel like I'm so far removed from it now. Like, it's been that long where I can actually watch it again and enjoy it for what it is. But again, lights on in the middle of the day, not doing that at night. Can't do it. Like,
you gotta do it at night. I mean, there's no other way to watch horror. You have to do it.
I did Friday the 13th. So this was my first time watching Friday the 13th ever. And so I watched it, and it was starting to get dark, and I was like,
It was 5:30.
That's true. It is. It's we're fall now, so.
And by the time I finished, it was dark. But I was like, I can't take this seriously. Like, I just couldn't take it seriously.
It is campy for sure.
Yeah.
I need the camp.
Literally campy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was like, oh, something's about to happen because they're moving in slow motion. And so that would happen. And I'm like,
that was just HBO lagging. It wasn't even a part of it. It's just so old. It was good.
Too much. Yeah, but
yeah.
That's fun.
So does anyone else have a check-in?
Yeah, I started watching the new season of Creepshow. There's season 4 of Creepshow's up on Shudder, which is a lot of fun. I really like the anthology style, and I think that the first 3 seasons have been pretty good. I watched the first 2 of this one, and looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of variety usually in the seasons of Creepshow. Scratches that Tales from the Crypt itch kind of well. They always got some good guest stars on there, so highly recommend checking out the new season of Creepshow.
Which it comes with AMC Plus if you have that.
I don't have any of that.
And if you have AMC Plus, also watch the new season of Dark Winds. That was really good. I liked the first season quite a bit, but the second season was a really, really solid, man. Pretty good mystery, and I don't know. I like the emotion in that show. I think it's a really good noir series. It's not quite spooky. There are some supernatural-ish elements to it, dealing with the Native American stuff. But
I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. Like it was a little hard for me to take serious at first because the main cop guy is the same guy that's the cop on Reservation Dogs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's big. Yeah, that's big.
Did you see that bubblegum outtake clip?
That was so funny, man. Like they lost it. They were laughing like little kids.
Yeah.
Man. That was so good.
I can only think of like his pubes now. Whenever I see him, I'm like, what is it? What's it? 2 shiny acorns?
On that last episode when he's walking around telling all the chicks that he's got a girlfriend now, he's all proud like a little kid. I can't talk to you anymore like that. I have a girlfriend now.
Adrian, have you anything that you could check in with?
So I'm on. This will be day 13. I'm doing a horror movie a night. So my marathon. So I've been pretty good so far. I had a couple of duds. I did this one. It was a French horror movie from like 1976. It was like,
what was it?
Werewolf Woman.
Okay.
Yeah, it was so awful. It was just terrible. It was just like Italian Spider-Man, like, you know what I mean? Where I just couldn't take it seriously, and it was just like
Italian Spider-Man.
It was awful. It was terrible. But the last few have been pretty good. So I saw Pearl for the first time last night.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Pearl's fantastic.
Isn't it amazing?
And then Mama, which I've seen in the theater, so I saw it again for the first time since then. And Men.
Okay, I
you
haven't
seen
watched
Men?
that one yet.
No.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! The last 10 minutes, I was just like, I didn't know what was happening in front of me. It was just like, I was like hoping nobody walked in when this was happening because I just wanted to experience it on my own. It was just the most bizarre ending. And then the night before that was You Are Not Alone.
Mhm.
So it's with I don't know pronounce the last name. Person is it Nomi? From the original.
Rapace.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember her.
so it's I think it's Swedish. So it's all subtitles. So it that is like one of the most gorgeous horror movies I've ever watched. It was so cerebral. It was just, man, it was just a beautiful, beautiful movie. It just kind of basically dealt with this, in the beginning, this witch shows up in this little cottage. She's all burnt and naked, of course, as witches are. And, she's kind of like has like this baby in her arms, and the mom is all freaked out and kind of makes a deal, oh, come back when she turns, of age, right? 16 kind of thing. Then you can have her kind of thing, right? And so, she gives her a cut and the witch takes off. So the mom then fakes the death of this baby and puts her in this cave and hides her there and basically just raises her. And she lets everybody know that she died or someone took her and killed her. And so she raises this kid and she's like borderline feral by the time she comes of age. And then the witch shows up and basically still comes for her and then trains her to become a witch, right? So trains her to take, they kill someone and then they basically digest their body parts so they can turn into them.
Mhm.
And then she just starts to like integrate herself into like daily life, and she's learning, right? And because she's never had contact with people, she's never been in a society, and so here she is. She's learning to be a witch, and at the same time, she's learning how to like talk to people, interact with people, eat with people, and yeah, it's a coming of age story, really. That's what it is.
Which is reminiscent of that Friday movie, right?
It's just
He's
like
eating family members. Yes.
it's just so it's whenever there's like a gory part or whatever, like it's so impactful, right? And I cannot recommend this movie like anymore. It's just a beautiful movie.
It's more recent.
I think last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then I followed that up with Men the next day, and just like it was like two nights of like it was 2 nights of what the fuck just happened kind of thing, right? Completely blindsided. So yeah.
Have you seen Eyes of My Mother? That'll be a nice one to throw on that fire if you haven't
No. Eyes of My Mother?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll maybe I'll do it tonight.
It's another foreign language one, but like it's worth it. It's black and white. It's very gorgeous though. Really, really cool movie.
I'm trying to find somewhere where I can stream A Girl That Walks Home at Night.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, the Iranian vampire movie.
I have the DVD for it. Like I'm not sure where. I know it's a let's see, my DVD's right here. It's a Kino Lorber movie. So I think I'm not sure who they streamed through.
Yeah.
I was able to stream it a while back, but I can't remember where or if I just bought it. But I know like Hoopla has it too. In the States at least. But and the comic for that was gorgeous as well.
Oh, the comic is great. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
We could watch it on Discord. Like we could do like a streaming party. Like it's a wonderful film. I don't know if you've never seen it before. Like I wouldn't expect a horror film out of it though. Really, like you can't really classify the movie as like a horror film. It's kind of more art house.
Okay.
John Hughes type thing. It's really weird to categorize, man.
Did you say John Hughes?
Ish, yeah.
John
Really?
Hughes, like
She
like
holds a boombox outside of the.
That's actually Cameron Crowe. All right, like they both worked with this John Hughes.
like is the vampire in detention?
apologies.
Like I don't know, understand. Like so.
No, like the humor and it's really quirky. Like
It
it's
is,
Okay.
yeah.
it's a very quirky film, man. It's
And what year did it come
I
out?
would say maybe more Jim
1922.
It's more like Jim Jarmusch than it's
Okay.
from 2019, I think.
Oh yeah, same difference.
No, it's older than that.
I think it's older than that.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's
Yeah, because the book came out like a couple years ago.
Okay, 2014.
Yeah.
Man, I don't like to think I'm as old as I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, dude! I still think the '80s is like 20 years ago.
I still
Yeah,
think that this is a
sounds like
pretty
that.
good
2000.
movie, so 2014.
Oh my god.
Okay, the short came out in 2011, then they did a full feature in 2014.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
It's a wonderful film, and like her other movie that's on Netflix with Jason Momoa is really good too. What's that called?
Blind?
No, it's not. Man, what is it called? Like
Awkward.
Odd Bunch or something like that.
What's funny though too is speaking of my precious, the treasure. And a girl walks home alone at night. It's one of my favorite pages in the comic.
The Bad Batch is what her Netflix movie's called.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Leah,
Yes.
did you, aside from Friday the 13th, because we're going to probably touch on that later, did you have anything else you could check in?
So, yeah, actually, last week I watched, I hope I'm going to say it right, Vivarium? With Jesse.
Vivarium, yep.
Yep.
Who'd you watch it with? Because it wasn't me. That's weird. That's suspicious.
So anyways, I watched it last week.
I really liked that movie.
I hated it.
I
I
loved
hated it.
it.
And I had to watch it again. Well, I kind of fast forward through some parts, but I had to like rewatch it because I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why did we go through this? And I honestly thought that one of them was gonna survive. I did.
Mhm.
Didn't expect it to end that way.
Spoilers.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, and
Oh, I did watch The Mill, that Lil Rel How
Oh, yeah.
Rel
Oh, I
movie.
saw that.
I watched it on Hulu, and it was like nothing you've never seen before, but also like if you're like dealing with like job drama and stuff, probably don't watch it. Probably skip because it's just gonna trigger you. We don't need any more postal situations going on.
Yikes.
It was like really telling of like American workplaces, or well, I'm sure global workplaces to be honest, and it was interesting, but also, fuck capitalism, but also as I order from Amazon.
Right.
Yeah, Alex, best show, Twisted Metal, best movie, Puss in Boots 2.
Didn't see that coming, I gotta say.
Oh wow.
Twisted Metal, okay.
glorious.
I did like all like the cheat codes and like little Easter eggs and Twisted Metal.
I didn't expect the whole thing to just be as dumb and as fun as it was. I kept thinking that they were going to ruin it and try to make it serious somehow, and they never did. Like, even when he's sitting in the blown-up car, all sad, it was just so over the top and corny. Like, I loved it, man. Like,
And the whole Vegas sequence with Sweet Tooth was like one of some of the best TV that they've put out this year.
oh, horror movie or TV show. Damn, I haven't really liked any horror movies this year so
That's
far.
what I was gonna say, because last year was so good, it's hard to follow.
Cobweb.
Cobweb
I
wasn't
haven't seen
bad.
that yet. I haven't
Cobweb
seen
was
it.
good. Talk to Me.
That
Talk
you
to me
like
was decent.
with the
I haven't seen
mom,
any of them.
the mom
The mom.
in the base in the cellar in the bottom of the house.
Cobweb? That was Cobweb, right? No?
No, monster.
Barbarian.
Barbarian.
Oh, that was last
That was
year.
last
I
year.
think that was last year, though.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I watched it this year. Sorry.
Well, that was
It's
the last
good.
really good one that I seen. Like
Yeah, it's really
That
good.
was good. Yeah, that one was really good.
Yeah.
I liked Cobweb because it was just I had never seen nothing like that. It was like creepypasta but done right. Made me itchy. I don't like
No,
cobwebs.
I can't. I don't want to do nothing that makes me itchy.
Okay, well there's like cobwebs and hair,
Oh, that's gonna make us all itchy. We don't need to do that.
rotten pumpkins, and ugh.
Okay, no, we can't do
But
that.
tell me that couple was not the perfect couple to play Homelander and old girl from The Things,
The thing?
Lizzie Kaplan.
Oh, her.
They're the perfect weird ass. I don't want them to be my parents' couple.
Yeah, got a good point there.
Like one of them is abusing somebody.
Oh.
Yikes.
Tara, do you have anything to check in with?
I don't have a lot exciting unless we can count 90 Day Fiancé as a horror.
Absolutely. The new season?
Yeah,
That sounds pretty
The
horrific to
voodoo?
me.
yeah, yeah, it's giving horror. That's my obsession this week. And baseball playoffs. I'm at extremes.
Go
Yeah,
Sports.
yeah. I'm like in the Phillies' backyard. That's our home team.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
Oh, is the Phillies are your home team?
Yep.
There's no Delaware team?
hell no.
Oh, the Delaware Dovers? It's right there.
No Dovers. There's George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers is as close as I come. That was a softball team before it was a band.
The Phillies, didn't they knock the Braves out? I literally don't care, but
Yes,
they
they
knocked
did.
the Braves out.
Last night.
Aw.
That means
Wah,
you don't
wah,
get to
wah.
wear jeans anymore at work.
I think the Diamondbacks are about to knock us all out. So
Yeah, that's a snake, right?
yeah, and an
What?
Arizona baseball team.
Arizona.
Yeah.
They let Arizona have a baseball team.
Yeah, believe it or
But
not.
not Delaware?
That's right.
Do you want
Delaware's
us to start
not big
writing
enough.
letters?
Delaware's not big enough for a baseball diamond, all right? It's a tiny little state.
No, we have a minor league baseball team. They have a full size baseball diamond, but we don't have any professional sports. In this
We don't
state.
have any out here either.
Oh.
We
we
defer to Philly.
I'm just kidding. I think there's the Mariners. Is that baseball?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
We got the Thunder. We got a basketball team. That's the only thing in the whole state.
Is that WNBA or NBA?
NBA. No, you didn't.
I'm just kidding. I'm mostly just kidding.
Mostly. But yeah, I've been reading the Grant Morrison run of Batman, and that's been really interesting. But yeah, I'm not doing my job as a pop culture lover at this point.
I feel like I'm so far removed from pop culture. Like when you all talk about the reality shows and stuff, like I don't watch anything. I don't know.
But
I don't
baby,
know.
please know that that's like trauma watching. Like
It
it's
is.
because I literally need sound in the background while I'm doing
Exactly.
stuff, or else I
That's-
feel like I'm going crazy.
Yeah, it's one of my please keep me company.
Could I tell you a
announcers.
name? No.
No,
Could I tell you what state they're in? No.
I can tell you the messiness.
Yeah, but I can tell you the mess.
Yeah,
I'll try it. Now I did like that one boat show. Oh, put me
Below
on.
Deck is my jam.
yeah. I was about
Now
to call it
not
down there.
Mediterranean, but like Below Deck proper or Below Deck Australia, Down Under.
That's
Oh,
right.
Hey.
Not
That's
all
me
of
too.
them. Aisha is a sweet baby angel.
That
Yeah,
show would be more interesting if every episode someone had to walk the plank, just
Yeah.
throw them into the ocean. Then I
Bring
might
the
tune in.
pirates into it. Yeah, that's true.
Steel
Like,
Hall,
no.
Yeah.
You're gone, and just throw them off the boat. And that's it.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
I've seen like TikToks of people on cruises that are like, why are they turning off all the lights? Is there a power outage? It's like, no, it's a pirate thing. If they cruise too close to like pirate territory, the cruises
Turn
have
the
to turn
lights
off
out.
all their
Are you
lights.
serious?
Yeah, and
That's
That makes
real.
sense.
that's real, girl. And I went deep diving and everything, and I said, oh no, I'm just trying to enjoy the buffet.
I would never.
Yeah, right?
I would never get on the boat. Why cruise?
Oh, not her not believing me. This is a regular thing, and that's why we're friends, but we're not best friends. I'm just kidding.
It's only in certain parts of the world. Like it's not a
Yeah,
super
mostly
common
like
occurrence.
Caribbean areas, if you know what I'm saying, Leah.
Where I would be. That's why I'm
Yes.
just like.
Not saying
uh-oh.
ask your dad where he was January 6th, but also
My father.
on
My
June 6th, because it's Caribbean summertime.
I'm not seeing anything about. Oh, here he is. Cruise passengers told to turn off lights, music for 10 days to avoid pirate attack.
Yeah,
It's not just for,
Wow,
it's even
10
just
days?
for a few minutes and hours. If there's a boat that's not supposed to be on the radar, they do that too.
it
They
was
go
like in
dark.
2008 was the last big one. It was a French ship. Like the pirates took them, and like
Wow.
South Park made fun of them.
So what? They turn off the lights and the pirates can't see them?
Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
water
literally.
works. Didn't we
PlayStation
play
games-
Man of Medan together? That's how
Yeah,
boats
we
work.
did, but I'm saying,
Turn
like,
off
I'm
the
in a
lights.
pirate with this big
You're
ass
invisible.
Here comes the pirate. You don't see me?
PlayStation 3 rules. Yeah, you turn off the light, you hide in the shadow for like 30 seconds, and like their little question mark above their head goes away, and then you can sneak out.
I don't know, friends. I don't know about that.
Me neither.
If
I would.
I was a pirate, I would be able to see you. I
Yeah.
see you.
Aye.
But what else are you gonna do? You're gonna end up like that guy that you read the story about in the true crime episode. You're gonna fall asleep with the gun and accidentally shoot your wife
Oh
because
my
you're
gosh.
in pirate water. Oh no!
She's gonna fall asleep with the wooden sword in her hand.
Yeah.
And accidentally slice somebody's neck. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I had a nightmare.
Well, so if that's all Tara has for check-in, I'll do mine.
It
I
is.
guess.
Yes, please.
Like Elle, I started watching The Fall of the House of Usher, which has been very good so far. We watched the Pet Cemetery Bloodlines, which was surprisingly better than I was expecting it to be.
Yep, it was.
Watched Totally Killer, is that it? With the girl that played
Prime?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was all right
Oh,
for
yeah.
like a comedy, like a lighthearted horror movie.
Mhm.
It was decent.
The mom from Modern Family, Leah.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
I'll
Yeah.
give her context.
Clarissa explains it all.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. What else did we? I watched The Empty Man, which
Oh, okay, Colin Bunn.
it was long for nothing. I felt it
It's on
starts
Hulu
off.
now.
It starts the intro to the movie is really good. I thought that was pretty solid, and then I don't know. It wasn't focused
A little
or
empty.
yeah, like
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, like
figure.
they dragged it out for way too long. Like it could have been a good half hour shorter, that movie. What else did we watch? I tried watching that Alien one, but I fell asleep.
No
Which
one will
alien?
save you.
No one's there to save you or whatever. I think I made it 20 minutes in and
Yeah.
boom.
I told you I stayed for the alien feet and
Mm-hmm.
The alien what?
feet.
Feet?
Feet.
Feet.
Do they have cute little toe beans or what?
They got little toes. I posted it to Twitter the other week. They got
All
like
right,
little.
Tarantino, like Alien.
Adrian went all in
What?
on it. He
Oh.
said, "You're
Sorry.
talking feet."
Sorry, my phone. Sorry, I was trying to grab some here. Never mind.
I read
We're all friends here.
Yeah.
I read Ghost Rider Trail of Tears, which was really good. That's Garth Ennis and Clayton Crane.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Yeah, we're doing an episode on that. Like on the 30th, we're going to talk about some Ghost Rider shit we've been reading.
Sounds
Yeah.
like fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I read that the last run. Who writes that one?
Percy?
Percy.
Sure. Yeah, I read that one through like number pretty far. The only Marvel run I could say I've read that far into lately.
Also read 30 Days of Night this week,
That makes sense.
which was
I know
good.
why you read
What's that?
I said I know why you read that.
Yeah, for the End Pod. Yeah, we're gonna do an episode on that. So that means I rewatched the movie as well. I didn't watch Dark Days yet, which I heard was horrible, and I didn't really enjoy the Dark Days comic either. It was okay, but it's kind of a bridge between the two stories, so it's kind of necessary. I think that's it. I mean,
30 Days of Night, that movie. Josh Hartnett, I have bad memories about that, so I've never seen it. Leah, I think no tires, no spares at a drive-in theater zone.
What happened?
No, can we do it? Can we do it or not here?
No, not right now.
Oh,
Too
man.
long. It's too long.
Okay, I want a rain check for that.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to watch or read those because
and Sex Education. We watched a little bit of that as well.
Did
The
you
new
learn
season
anything?
is up. What's that?
And did you learn anything?
there's something in there that is disturbing, but
Go ahead, we're all friends.
Anything in particular? Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
you
the
say
dick-
that, you have to tell us.
the dick pic scenes, holy shit.
Oh,
I don't know if
shit.
that's really
Are they
his or if
adults
they got
now
a
in
model.
this?
Yeah, they're in college now. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see a college dick. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're talking about acorns and stuff like that? Well,
Yeah, but he's like a full mature adult. Like he's 60 years
Cringy.
old.
He's
no,
leaving.
Big is like 70 years old. That's different.
they're 18 to 20, I think.
No, thank you. I don't want. I need to
Yeah.
see all that.
Anyway.
It's
Yeah.
not my jam.
They need to
so.
be drooping for me. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just saying I don't want to see no. You know what? In recent years, I don't know if it's maturity or because I've gotten obviously older, but like I don't like watching like kids having sex on movies and TV. I'm like, ew, fast forward.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing. Get out of here.
So awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the
But
same way too.
now-
I'm like, not going to jail. Not going to
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah.
But that
exactly.
Oscar Isaac, Jessica Chastain, that A Marriage or whatever, I said
Oh, gosh.
episode 3, 20 minutes in, I said, okay, I can get behind this kind of sex scene, but
Yeah.
I can't do like anything under like 28, 29. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to see all this. I get the point. Fast forward.
Do you find whenever a scene comes on though, somebody always walks into the room and you look
Yes.
like a fucking pervert, right?
Yes.
You're like,
Oh, that always happens. Yeah.
fucking every goddamn time. It's
Preferably a
like-
relative too. Yeah.
I feel like my boys have like a radar. Like they absolutely
They-
know when there's gonna
they
be a
do.
titty on the screen.
They do.
When they walk
I
in.
believe that.
How did
My,
you just maybe? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
my brother-in-law, he this is back in high school, so he would always like rent like certain movies, and he'd always like leave it at certain places. So whenever we go downstairs and watch a movie, he would leave something in the VCR,
Yeah.
and my wife's like,
That's funny.
and girlfriend at the time, she's like, press play. Sure as shit, right? It's
Yeah.
like right in the middle of a jam session, right?
hmm But modern day, like streaming devices, that's what they do too. Because like on my TV in the living room, it'll be like, do you want to resume like a marriage from episode 327? And I'm like, no, like delete this. or Narcos, like the
Oh,
the
yeah,
Oscar
18.
Isaac dick
Yeah.
scene. And I'm like, get out of here! I don't want to resume Narcos.
Oh, and one Halloween related thing is I've been watching You're the Worst, and
I
season
love that
2,
show.
Mhm.
episode 8, I believe it is. It's Spooky Fun
Mhm.
Day Sunday. That's a
Mhm.
great Halloween episode, and You're the Worst.
Forgotten
Like
that one. I've seen every
Yeah.
one of those, and I can't remember that one.
and that's season 2,
Oh, wow.
episode 8, I believe, and that's the Halloween episode, and it's
Mhm.
fantastic. It's great. They go to like this haunted house thing,
Mhm.
but it's one of those extreme haunted ones where they're allowed, because normally they're not allowed touching people, right?
Right.
This is one of those extreme ones where you have to sign waivers and they can touch you and spray you with blood and stuff.
Oh no!
and they
not
go into
me.
there and it's them filmed with like the
Couldn't
Mean
be me.
Streets cams, like the attached cam, and they're running through, and it's a great Halloween episode. Like I highly recommend
I'm gonna have to go back and see
watching
that.
watching that episode. That was a great episode.
One.
Yeah.
That whole show is worth it.
What'd you say, Tara?
That whole show is worth watching.
What's it called again?
You're the
You're
worst.
the worst.
I know you've heard
Right.
that before.
I have. So listen, I have a question for you guys. What is your favorite like Halloween episode of a show?
Hmm. I don't
Um,
have one.
I love the Garfield Halloween special.
Yeah.
As a kid, I always loved it. Where there's a ghost and they just scream and run around in circles around the thing and then take off. Like I love it. I can watch that one every year.
That's funny. Garfield was my breakfast show.
If you guys have seen that David S. Pumpkins Halloween special, the
Yeah.
cartoon one, my
Yeah.
kids love that because I forced them to. They don't have a choice, you know.
We gotta watch that.
Yeah. Big SNL family, Leah knows, in this house. So my kids don't have a choice. They might not know who anybody else is except for Kenan Thompson because he does those Scooby-Doo specials.
Mhm.
But also, let me tell you this: how offensive is that Scooby-Doo special with Kenan Thompson? It was QTTT TV, and they made him the biggest he's ever been.
Oh,
But like, it was
no.
literally at his skinniest point in his
Oh,
career.
that's messed up.
And when you watch the episode, and so I'm telling my boys, I'm like, yo, you guys, that's Keenan. And they're like, who's that? I was like, it's Reba. And they're like, that's not him. And then I showed them, and they're like, he's That's not him. Because Scooby-Doo literally bloated him like 3 times the size he is.
Crazy.
But I love that David S. Pumpkins special.
I'd have to say, if people remember that Community episode when the dean gave out like poison, like old food, like military food.
Oh no!
And turned everybody into zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Zombies in the class at their class party or whatever. That's like one of my favorite Halloween episodes.
And
That
in
sounds fun.
Treehouse of Terror.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
those
love
count.
those. I'm happy to be able to pass those on to them. That's really cool.
That is cool.
The South Park one where the Cartman comes from the future and he's got the goatee and you guys are my best friends. You think anything song
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Barbara Streisand and with from The Cure. Great episode. That's probably the best Halloween episode I think I can think
That
of.
sounds like a good one.
I think that was from season 3 or 4. Like it was pretty early on, but not super early.
Not
Though they've had plenty of horror-based episodes. The Human Centipede is one of my
Oh
favorite
gosh!
favorite episodes. And the one where they have to put Kenny back in the womb of the bus driver.
Or the one with the little happy tree friends that are just murdering people and giving people AIDS and stuff. That was
Oh nice.
That's the most pleasant way,
That's a good show. They have.
Yeah,
They're so current too. Like something happens and a week later they have an episode out about it. It's crazy.
That's wild.
Which is they have a documentary about.
That's crazy.
Is it crazy? So crazy.
So crazy.
So crazy.
Crazy girl.
So Friday the 13th, Jason.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, did Johnny do his check-in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I just say this? I'm a cheater. And I found this collection on Shudder that was like Crystal Lake Collection or something, or Memories. And I'm like, I'm just about to watch this because I've seen the movies, but I'm not current, right? Like I don't know everything off the top of my head. So I said, I'm just going to watch this. Oh, and it's hosted by Corey Feldman. Easy.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
going to watch this shit. I put that shit on. I sit down and I'm like, come on, Jarvis. Give me something to work with. And I'm like 3 minutes and I have to pee. Pause it. It's 6 hours long.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, wow.
And I said, just kidding.
Those are a lot of memories right there. Yeah.
Because I guess it breaks down like every movie. But I was just not in that headspace for that. And I said, you know what? Let me go to YouTube.
Well, I mean,
You
6
find a
hours
20
is fast for
minute-
12 movies.
just watch the Angry Video Game Nerds review. Yeah.
That's what I watched. I watched, wait, what did you say?
Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerd. He's got a whole retrospective. The whole
I'm gonna have
series.
to write it down.
Decent.
I usually watch found flicks for horror if I don't feel like watching something. But even this, like, I've seen all the movies, but again, like I said, I just was like looking for a recap. And this was like the official recap, but it was 6 hours long with interviews, documentary stuff, and
Oh,
I was
wow.
not expecting that.
It's like the stuff on the Blu-ray.
It'd have been
No.
quicker if you would have just watched the movies.
Yeah, I should have just watched
Right.
the movies.
Yeah, they're basically like just over an hour long each.
Yeah, that's true.
The first couple,
The first one's like an hour and 22 minutes, I believe. I think.
Yeah. They're
Something like
ridiculously
that. Hour
short.
and 30
I won't
something.
lie though. Can I be honest?
Be honest.
What?
I guess my attention span is so short now these days.
Yeah.
And so I was watching it and I was just like, is this over?
I feel like in your defense, though, I feel like he didn't really become Jason until like the third movie when he put on the mask.
Okay.
So it was like it was
I was
the
waiting for him.
the third movie.
Yeah.
Like over an hour in when he finally like put on the fucking mask.
I was
And
waiting
so
for
like in your defense, I get it.
Yeah.
because I was like, what's going on? And then when she was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm Mrs. Whatever, I'm Mrs. Voorhees. I'm like,
Voorhees, yeah.
Mom, what are you doing here?
He has a mother. He was born.
Yeah.
Now I won't front. That jump scare at the end got me.
Yeah, it got me
I
too.
said, oh, I thought it was the
It's
music.
every movie, Leah. Every movie
It
there's
was
an
like
end
the end of
scene.
But
like
that's
that.
the police are here.
Like the end of Carrie.
Saved. And then that little boss said,
Little boy.
Came up
Mhm.
and just took down.
Dude, what do you think? What do you think about his head shape? What do you think about his head shape?
One right.
It's giving my prom date.
Mhm.
Oh,
And I don't want to call anybody out, but BR, if you're watching, you're
I'm
Yeah.
scared
similar
now.
head.
That's a classic. The ending to
Yeah.
that one,
Yeah.
like with
Yeah.
the boat at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what made. I think that if you didn't have that ending, that movie wouldn't be as like high up on everyone's
you're
list of
That's
like
what got me. I was like,
horror
ooh,
movies. Yeah,
I should probably go to 2. Like,
Yeah.
that did get me. And of course, like the fight between her and Mrs. Mrs. Is she married? I don't know.
It's Miss. I
Yeah.
feel like she's an unwed
Miss.
mother.
Yeah.
Ms.
Mhm.
With a Z.
But it did remind me of like the ending in Carrie. Like I remember seeing that.
Yeah, same.
I was just
Mhm.
like, oh, it's
Yeah.
over. She's walking. She's gonna lay the flowers and just bless this area.
Here you go, Leah.
And then the end.
It's giving them-
Dun, 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 dun. The music was just going. And
I
so,
woke up both my parents after that scene, and I was a teenager, and I had no right to wake them up. I was like, "What are you guys doing?"
For which there was a Carrie inspired, because they were trying to do Nightmare on Elm Street or Versus, but before they could do that, they did end up having to scratch that, and they did like the one with Tina, and that was like loosely inspired by Carrie. Her character was, at least.
Okay.
But that's in like the silly, goofy Jason era, not in
Okay.
like the serious.
I
I'm
just
gonna murder you.
end up in space. I don't care if y'all spoil it for me.
Mhm.
How did this guy end up in space?
Leah, there's no
yeah.
spoilers because it's literally exactly. Say it again, and that's exactly how everybody's like. How did he end up in space again?
He just got up there, and the whole movie takes place in space.
Well, what happens is like they trap him, and like he chases this one chick, and like he gets frozen in carbonite,
Your face.
or not
Oh
in
my
carbonite,
God,
but,
no.
like he gets cryogenically
Like Han
frozen,
Solo?
and then the Earth is uninhabitable, and like these kids that are with their teacher that are studying old Earth stumble upon the cryo cube and like think, oh wow, this guy's like 600 years old, and we could bring him back to life. This is a medical.
It's like
breakthrough.
Jurassic Park. Great
they break-
ideas.
Yeah, and he just ends up hunting him on a spaceship, and yeah, it's wonderfully stupid.
And that's it. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
what if
science.
the
It's
whole
science.
thing
It's
goes to
literature.
Science, yeah.
Huh?
What if
There are some pretty good death scenes though in that one.
Yeah.
space?
Yeah.
I gotta admit, it's kind of creative. Yeah.
So-
And was that
so-
the last one before the reboot?
Yeah.
What is it
Oh,
Oh
called?
no, there was Freddy
Jason
versus
goes to
Jason.
space.
after.
Oh,
I
I
was
mean,
gonna ask
yeah,
about
okay.
that one. That's what I've
Okay.
been dying to ask about. Okay. I haven't seen that one. Do I need
You
to
haven't
see it?
seen The Wink?
I haven't.
Freddy
not seen
versus
the way.
Jason is okay. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I think it's a lot of fun. There's some fun kills,
Mhm.
like when Jason breaks the bed in half with the dude on it. Like that was
Yeah.
great. And
That
when he's-
sounds
Yeah.
fun. I need the camp, or I can't deal with
Yeah,
So
well,
anything after, I feel like, not to cut you off, but anything after like the fourth movie, I feel like is you're gonna live. It's stupid. It's funny.
it's all
There, it's very. Anything from Corey Feldman on, basically, you're gonna LOL because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tommy or Jarvis from Corey Feldman to the second actor to the third actor is such a funny like trifecta, and especially with the age range he's supposed to be playing, it's
Oh,
like
wow.
it's so silly, and I honestly I think that's what I grew up liking. And so when I went back a couple years ago and watched from the very beginning, I was like, I don't like this because ew, it's boring. But then like I started to like Jason once he was like, this is silly. Everybody's very self-aware. It's not supposed to be that serious. But prior to that, like, I can give or take. And again, he did not wear the hockey mask until the third movie.
I'm
That's
sorry,
a long
I'm
time to wait for the
reading
hockey match.
right now, Jason.
He was just like imagine you're like playing with like Play-Doh and then you forget about it and you just throw it in the corner. Like that's basically what he looked like until
Wow. Yeah, that is
He got a
exactly what he
mask.
looks like. or my melted crayons in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Either one of those. Yeah.
Well, the cool
On
thing
a hot day.
about Friday the 13th is I don't think Sean S. Cunningham thought that far ahead. Like when he made the first one, he was just a huge fan of like Dario Argento movies. He really
Oh,
liked
that makes sense. It's
Italian
Yeah.
giallo films. That's why you don't see the killer. And
like an
that's why-
homage.
and the POV death scenes, most of them were taken directly from Argento films. Like you can line up most of the deaths from the original film, and he did a great job and stuff. But like, it's kind of cool that like from there he kind of built up his own mythology, and he did his own thing with he Americanized the giallo. I think with the first Friday the 13th, he very much took the artistry out of it, in my opinion, and I guess Americanized it in that way. But he still made a really fun product that like it just blossomed and grew, and to the point where I kind of wish that because like they were trying to set up something cool with Tommy Jarvis, they just never went anywhere with it. They were just like, no, I don't think this film we're actually going to have him do anything cool. We're just going to keep developing him, and it's like, well, this is already the third film in. Like, how many trilogies you expect this kid to have? He ain't exactly Harry Potter. You know,
but even with that, like Corey Feldman, like when because he was like Leah, for context, he was like a kid.
Where did he come
you
in?
don't really need to know anything about Jason. Just know he's gonna kill people who show up to this area, general vicinity.
Fair enough.
That's what
or even Manhattan, either or. But also like or space. Sorry, my bad. But also like,
can I say what I just read? Like I'm reading that he sprayed some nitrogen on somebody's face and then smashed it and the head exploded.
Yeah, and that's always thrown me off of like square ice cubes for some reason since I was a kid. Like I have not been able to use like square ice cubes because it reminds me of that bitch's face after it gets smashed. Jason goes,
I'm
but
so
like
glad it just freeze on my forehead.
but Jarvis as a child, he's like supposed to be like one of his like big like I'm your competitor or whatever, I'm a kid, but like his whole thing was so sweet and innocent was that he loved monster effects, 3D makeup and stuff. And so Corey Feldman as a child, a sweet baby innocent child, does his get up as Jason's deformed face, and then confronts him in the final scenes and is like, surprise. And I'm like, oh no, is this ableism? Because you just made yourself look like Simple Jack.
Good Jason face, you're right.
Yeah,
I thought about it like that.
Yeah, he went full on. And then he surprised him, and that was like his way of like, and I get it, you're trying to survive. But also, like, could you imagine, like, he's, how old was he? Like, he had to be less than 10.
But how gnarly was that kill, man? The machete going into Jason's head and then his head down the machete. Oh, that was artistry. That's why the fourth one is kind of the best one. That and the Crispin Glover dance scene completely like.
Oh, not Crispin Glover.
He's in it?
In part 4, yeah, he's like the opera.
Oh, I'm in. Leah, let's watch that one together.
I'm here for it. Honestly, I would like to catch up. Like I don't know why I didn't touch the Friday the 13th franchise. I was always
because it's convoluted. It's weird. Halloween I feel follows a certain trajectory, and Jason is kind of like it's here until here, and then it's like what the fuck.
Yeah, he's it's the Fast and Furious of the horror genre.
Oh,
right?
that's
I mean, they both went to space, like
they both are all about family.
Right.
There's a family one. There's like a snail version of him where he like slithers into people's bodies, but only family members because that's the only way he can get his body back. So there's like a lot of weird shit in this series, which.
Yeah. See, one of my favorites is Johnny mentioned it earlier, and it's only because of one kill. It just sticks in my mind is the sleeping bag kill. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's brutal!" Just the thunk against the tree. It was too good, and I just remember that like till this day. So that's number 7, I believe, the new blood or whatever it's called.
Okay, yeah.
And that's really why you watch, that series, right? Just like to see new ways of like killing someone, right? It's like Final Destination.
Special Notebook.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
you know, it's like
Yeah.
I love watching Final Destination because I'm just like
I love that movie.
I'm like, how are they going to do this, right? And it's just
Yeah.
like, you know, I just imagine, you know, a group of writers just like, you know, sitting in a room just trying to come up with different ways to kill someone in a creative
Clever
way.
kills. Yeah.
You know,
What
yeah.
are some of your favorite ones that you've seen, Adrian? Because I have a couple off the top of my head. Like in The Town That Dreaded Sundown, when the guy puts the knife on the slide of the trombone and like he's blowing it, like that was so great. And then in and then in John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, when Al Cooper stabs the dude with the 10-speed bicycle. Like those are like two of the best kills ever.
What was the one with the it was in a hospital and there was like a tub was overflowing, and like they're like the tub was like on the floor above whoever was in the gurney.
That's kind of a trope, isn't it?
And it kind of gave way to it was a whole fucking Looney Tunes kind of thing.
No, that was my life story.
Gave way to the floor, and then the tub kind of came in and crushed whoever's on the gurney.
I know exactly what you're talking about in my head. Like,
yeah,
I can see that scene. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Matthew Merritt, I know how you're gonna go out. Apartment, I know how you're gonna go out as well. Leah promised me not to tell, but
let me tell y'all.
So, what do you guys think about like whenever like you know, when you look at the first like I watched first Friday 13th the other night, and it was funny. I remember how much like I got to remind how much I really liked that movie, right? Because it was just like this great standalone. You know, a little bit of a kind of like kind of a slight realism vibe, like a DIY kind of vibe, almost like, you know, because it came out not too long after.
It looks like a porno. Let's just say it.
Yeah, basically it was, right?
Yeah.
And so, but you know, I mean, just kind of like sort of like felt like, you know, in the same vein as like the original, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Mm-hmm. Not as like really like that is like the greatest horror movie ever. Like
can't be topped.
It can't be. It's just like it's like the most perfect movie. But anyway, so this one sort of like felt like, you know, like a bit of a cheap knockoff, but it still kind of had like that it's still like I was 1980 this one came out, but it still had that 70s kind of cinema vibe to it.
It really felt 70s, yeah.
And so it's funny, it's like, you know, I don't know why, like it's like, you know, you see like a movie that was like, you know, it was pretty good the way it was, but just how it sort of like cheapened as the years went on to like, you know, just fodder, you know, it's just kind of, I don't know, just it's almost like a joke, I guess, as you go, like
it just gets more campy.
Well,
I don't know. It's just
I need to camp, so I'm not scared though.
I think that's
what I was talking about. Like that's why I'm not afraid of these movies.
Yeah, like Halloween, right? Like the first Halloween was great.
So good.
Was it Halloween 3, the one that was without Michael Myers?
Yeah, that's the first
right?
one.
Because originally that was the intent, right? Was like each movie was going to be its own standalone.
Right.
Season of the Witch.
Yeah, and then after that, it's just kind of like I really don't like the Halloween series. I find it's just so repetitive. It's just like, you know. But I will say though, I did like the Rob Zombie remake.
The first one,
the first one. That was so brutal. Like it was just like it was almost uncomfortable to watch at times, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's something with Rob Zombie that I don't know what it is. Like his movies just kind of like. Fuck man,
you got to
take a shower. You got to take a shower after a Rob Zombie movie. I find, like, you know, and cry a bit in the shower, right? You know. Oh.
The kid who played Michael Myers, like he to this day, like that freaks me out. Like he just freaks me out.
But Adrian, I think that's sadly the nature of franchises. Like just keep because like Freddy went the same way.
Yeah, he did.
Even really creepy things like Hellraiser got really bad and repetitive with
that's right.
Play.
Yeah.
So it goes without saying that like the longer they drag things on, like the more they seem to like try to catchphrase it. You know what I mean? Try to.
Because they were all three of them were in the 80s, right? In the 80s were like a big franchise, you know, machine, right? And you know, and it was all about the one-liners and.
Well, they almost put out one a year. The Friday the 13th franchise. One came out every year because number 7 came out in '88, and the first one came out in 1980.
That's really
so that's like they're turning out a Friday the 13th almost every year.
Well, they were doing that with Saw like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen a Saw movie yet.
I've seen the first one, and that's it.
Hold on.
As bad as we talk about Friday the 13th, they're so much better than Saw. Like maybe the second
Johnny,
one is okay.
Johnny, real fast. Let me just say this.
Don't,
and listen.
Johnny, keep
Hear me
speaking.
out. Hear me out. I was not. So after I got so my dad died when I was 14. Was not allowed to watch rated R movies after I was adopted. My art teacher in high school knew this, and she got Saw for us to. She rented it so we could watch it.
Oh my God.
Because she knew that we weren't.
Who was she? Amy Smart?
Don't worry about all that, okay?
As a mandated reporter?
As a mandated reporter.
Was she a student
right?
teacher?
No, she rented that, and she rented Frida for us because there was titties in Frida, and she knew that our guardian would not let us watch it, so she rented those two movies for us.
Fucking, that's
And
the
when
most bizarre doubleheader I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Frida and
Saw and
Saw.
Frida, yeah. And so when I tell you,
Sorry, I can't.
the
Fuck,
first
bunch of those
Saw
Schindler's
movie,
List in there too.
yes, will forever be iconic in my head because let me tell you, I'm not gonna give you her name, but Miss G was a motherfucking
You're
G.
killing me.
She was a real G. She showed it to us because she knew we weren't allowed to watch it at home, and like literally life changing.
Fuck, next week it was like Cocoon and Boogie Nights. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's just like,
Oh my
I just
God.
gotta get past this.
Scarface.
Boogie
Yeah,
Nights.
like, what?
Yeah, and so when I tell you though, so I've always had like a soft spot for Saw, just because she was the first adult to show us like empathy after my dad passed, and
Aw.
Saw was like the first movie that like I saw like post that was like, this is something my dad would have let us watch that we didn't get to see. You know what I mean? I know that sounds like macabre or whatever, but also. I love Saw as a franchise just because it's so. And I actually went to a Saw live experience a few years
What is
ago.
that?
What? They're just slicing at people?
You have to put your hands in this machine to get it started. Like
Oh,
I've been to horror nights plenty of times, but this was like a specifically Saw experience, right?
You had to put your hands in
Yeah,
something?
you had to put your hands in the machine to get it started. And I remember the girl who I took with me, who's a fucking bitch. I took with me. We put our hands in there, and she would only put one hand in. And I said, "Put your other motherfucking hand in. I paid for this experience." And she fucking ended up peeing herself. It's okay. She's a bitch. It's all good. But yeah, it was. Huh?
Is this who I think it is?
Starts with a D, ends in end. Okay, so it was like, it was a mess, and but I love Saw. I don't. The Chris Rock one was like kind of whatever, but like
Chris Rock is in a Saw?
He's what? Really?
Spiral.
What?
Spiral. He did his own
Fucking
one.
hell.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He was in one?
Yeah, I think he had more
You
than.
got the Saw. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, he said, "Oh no, you
Being
got
an
the Saw."
asshole.
I don't get it. Like,
And I think
what is he doing?
And then he gets
Being
slapped.
rapey.
And,
Yeah.
Saw 10.
Did you say he was raping? Because
Yeah, I
that's
did.
literally what he does actually
no.
in real life, but also allegedly.
Yeah.
But also he's a piece
Allegedly.
of shit. But also,
Oy, oy.
back to Saw.
I think that Saw 10's in theaters at the moment, no?
It is.
Yeah, and I heard it was
There's one out
fantastic.
now.
I heard it was
Yeah.
like a return. It actually takes place like prior to, because Jigsaw actually was like
Retro Saw? Is that what
he
you're
died
saying?
of like he was dying of cancer on the on the movie series,
Mm-hmm.
and so
That's
this is
so
like
dark.
this takes place between Saws
Okay.
before
It's an
Amanda,
interstitial
right?
Saw.
Like
Wow.
before Amanda.
You got a 5.2 out of 10.
You're a 5.2 out of 10.
I know.
There's a lot of horror movie franchises which have been rebooted and all that. What is a reboot or a sequel, like let's say that came out long after that, you'd consider worthy of the franchise title?
You know what's like a silly one that I feel is silly, and I could say that the post one was like silly horror fun, was like House of Wax. Like I appreciated
With Paris Hilton?
Yeah, it was so.
Oh,
listen,
no.
the remake
Oh,
was
wow.
so bad,
Agent
but it was like such a silly
Wow.
like classic. Okay, but it came out when I was like a child, right? The remake.
Oh,
And
that
so
helped.
with Paris Hilton and all these superficial celebrities in it, it
I feel
felt
so
fitting.
old right now. Oh my God.
I get what Elle's saying. Like, it was like on the
Yeah.
same level. It was fun, like that really
Yeah.
bad first Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and like the Hills Have Eyes remake. They weren't like really good horror movies, but they were
No.
really bloody.
They're
and-
iconic though. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
remember them because they were not great.
I like that remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel and all that. I thought that was actually pretty good.
I haven't seen that one.
That came
I
out in
wouldn't say it was
2003.
good, but like I enjoy it. Like I can watch it again. I can.
I would say it is good.
I don't know if I can say that, but I can watch it. I can enjoy it.
It came out
good.
in 2003.
Yeah. It's,
Wait,
you know,
what came out to 2003?
The first remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We got to be clear because there's been 3.
Yeah, there's been
Yeah.
several. Yeah.
I can't really judge because I like the Footloose remake a lot. So
Okay, was
you
it
know-
the foot or the loose?
Hey, that
did it for
Avery
you?
with the hot dog cake.
That brings us back to
Wait,
Friday
look,
the 13th
Kevin
with
Bacon? Nice.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon and Friday the 13th, 7
Yes,
degrees,
Johnny.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
that's
you
his first movie, I think, was Friday.
actually, you know what I do like? I like
Didn't even use his name.
the Nightmare on Elm Street remake with Jackie Earle Haley.
Okay.
Right, it was a bit of that
Oh, I
prequel
love him.
kind of whatever. Like it was like an origin story.
Mhm.
Yes,
That was alright. Yeah, because that guy's creepy as fuck already without the makeup, right?
he really is.
You know what?
Yeah.
What you know what can go to hell though is the Friday the 13th remake where they made him a pedophile.
Ew.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
How
Didn't
did I
see
miss
that,
one?
no.
They
I missed
made
that
it
one.
was like more recent. Well, I'll say the last 20 years because I don't know what recent means anymore.
It came out
But
20 years.
it was where they like remade Nightmare on Elm Street, but like his origin story was like the preschool accused him of being like a pedophile.
Well, that's what
or
Adrian's
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, Adrian, sorry.
Yeah.
Just sorry to hate. It's not no disrespect to you.
Yeah,
but it's
no, hey,
absolutely-
hey.
I thought
Yeah.
it was like you waited until the big year of 20 something where everybody's dressing up as him to be like, oh, he might be a pedophile.
Wasn't it always a wink and a nod that Freddy always was a pedo, though? I thought that was
Yeah.
kind of always
I
implied in
never
the original
thought-
series.
I
It's
never
such,
thought-
it's such lazy writing, though. Hey, we gotta make a bad guy. Well, pedophile, right? Straight for it, right?
Right.
Go,
That is
straight for the
it's
kids.
Like, okay,
you
so how
know?
many of y'all have worn a Freddy costume? Hands up.
I had a
Oh,
sweater.
no.
I had a sweater, a day-to-day sweater.
I
was
never a lanky kid. I was kind of round, so like, yeah, Freddy costume didn't really work with me. I was kind of more of a Pugsley Adams type, you know. If I wore stripes.
Female Pugsley here. Yeah.
So yeah, we're talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I've only watched like the first 5 minutes of that movie.
Really?
And it's really awkward. It's just really awkward for me because it was post my uncle's funeral, who committed suicide. And so everybody was just sitting on the couch, and we were like, yeah, what are we gonna watch? And I grabbed the remote, and I was like, let's watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And in the first scene, the lady blows her brains out, and I was just like,
And
Let's just-
you guys, if you didn't know, he was murdered by a Texas chainsaw. In case
well,
it's okay, you can laugh. It's not true. It's not true.
It's okay, guys. No, it's okay. Like it's
Context is
it's okay.
everything.
Well,
Anyway, so like that whole like that was the first thing that happens, and I was just like, I immediately turned off the TV, and I was like, I am so sorry. And so then after that, I just never wanted to watch the
She
movie.
was 27.
Yeah, you gotta start off easy after a funeral. Like go like Pretty Woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Harry Met Sally. Just kind of just right.
Sorry, guys.
You know.
Necromantic.
Yeah, and then go into the hardcore stuff,
Yeah,
right?
I
Just
don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know
Pace
why I gave you the
yourself.
remote.
Leave with Julia Roberts. Yeah.
I thought we could do
Right.
something.
No, I thought we could do something.
what would you consider to be like the worst remakes?
The Evil Dead remake was really bad.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah?
It was that
The
bad.
Friday the 13th remake was really bad.
which one?
The 2009 Jared Padalecki actually has
Oh,
the
No, no, no,
highest
no, no.
rating on Rotten Tomatoes of all the Friday the 13th movies.
I said the wrong name. I meant to say Nightmare on Elm Street. The Friday the 13th remake, it was... I hated it because Jason ran a lot in it, and like there are arguments Jason ran in the old. But I don't like a running Jason. You know what I mean? Looking like
You
it's
said,
not.
slow it down, boy.
I like
Yeah.
Jason. He does
He's-
this.
He's a cool cat. He doesn't run, man. Like
Mhm.
Like a speed
Yeah.
walks.
Pull them
Yeah.
Is that
Work-
the-
Ounces. He doesn't run.
Working up a sweat in that big jacket? Nah, man.
No.
I know I'm about to get cursed out by Elle by saying this.
I've
but
never cussed before in my life.
Ever?
Ever.
the way she yells at me. So
I've
anyway,
never.
the Carrie remake.
Carrie as in Carrie Bradshaw.
Which one? The one with Chloe Moretz?
And just like that? What's wrong with that?
And just like that?
Just like that.
The diaries, the Carrie diaries? Which one are you
Sure.
talking about?
So anyway,
Carrie diaries.
I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it.
You know what? I'll say this. The Carrie original movie, obviously OG, overpowered, OP. The remake was decent. I feel like, honestly, all of the Carrie movies have done what they needed to do.
Yeah.
But also, if you know, Tina was inspired by Carrie, the telepathic foe of Jason in one of the movies where they killed her dad, and then she was like, "Let me shutter this dock by using my mind." And then at the end of the movie, her telepathic dead father saves her life, and she just lays on the dock and is like, "I'm saved." It's like, bitch, what do you have telepathy for?
Yeah.
They told that in a lot of weird horror sequels. Like in my favorite horror franchise, in Phantasm Part 2, like all of a sudden there was like a psychic girl in that, and like Mike was a psychic for like the second movie, and they dropped it in the subsequent sequels, and it's like nice segue, guys, you know. But at least that was a nice surreal series, so like it was kind of easy to drop. Whereas Friday the 13th, they never had any supernatural stuff besides Jason until that movie. And then, like, they just dropped it again. You're just like, well, what happened with the psychics, you know?
Well, I feel like it was all supernatural after that point because he was being reanimated by going into his family's bodies. And then he was being reanimated because,
Jason goes to hell.
Yeah, he was like a slithering snake. You know that meme, that slithering? I'm a snake. I'm a slithering snake. He slithered his way into the bodies of his half-sisters.
Wait, Jason went to hell, too?
Yeah, he went to hell in his
I remember that.
His half-sister's body.
Catchphrase.
And then, like, his half-niece ended up killing him.
Not
or
his half-niece.
Everything is half in this movie.
When did this
What's a half-niece, though?
This came out the final
90? Maybe 90?
1925, I think.
They said the final Friday as if they weren't going to make 5,000 more movies.
Oh no! But they also tell you very much like, the final chapter, and then
93.
The final chapter.
Leah, you know which one you'll love? The one, yeah. So is Jason Goes to Hell the same one as? No. The New Blood. That's the one with his family, right?
Yeah, the New Blood is part 7.
Leah, you'll love that because he first goes into the body of a black man.
Oh,
so we already have like equality, right? And then he learns that he has to, and then he like eats the heart of Jason, and that's how he gets his soul into him. And then he learns that he has to, he bounces body to body after that because he has to get his body back by being in the body of a blood relative. Science.
That's science. Okay. Yeah.
I see that Jason has been resurrected. How?
In every movie, he's resurrected.
He was electrocuted alive in a few of the movies.
From what I understand, the swamp brings him back, like the Crystal Lake itself.
So when he falls into the water.
The water, the water has the magic.
That's what fans have speculated. That makes the most sense.
Crystal Lake.
Fuck Lazarus Pit.
Yeah.
That's it.
See, remake I hated was the Child's Play.
Oh yeah, I always forget that they even made that.
And it sucked because I like Audrey Plaza, and I was like, I wanted to like that movie so much because she was in it, and I was like, ugh. They had to go with the like AI route, and I was like, no, that's, you know.
So I'm curious.
The Pet Cemetery remake.
That wasn't very good. I didn't enjoy that one.
Edward Furlong?
I watched it on a plane, and
that was a sequel, though.
Yeah,
that was a sequel. Yeah, was there? Yeah, but there was a remake too.
There was a remake like a few years back.
Just a couple years ago with from the boy, the man. I don't want to say boy, the guy from the Mars, the show, the TV show. So, anyways, that
from Lawless.
Hold on a second, Leah. Because Pet Cemetery, okay, I'm gonna remove you. So from the last Pet Cemetery, I watched it on a plane, and Third Rock from the Sun, and I actually ended up liking it. But then I turned around after it was over, and there was this lady behind me, staring at me, death daggers, like, bitch, why would you watch this on the plane? I'm like, it was available on the plane.
Oh, I watched Boogeyman. That wasn't so mad. That wasn't too bad.
That was
I forgot I watched
depressing.
that.
The
Boogeyman was
Boogeyman
alright.
was
It
so
was alright,
depressing.
yeah.
It was depressing. As just female trauma, I feel like they've really capitalized on that as a horror genre this year. There's been a lot of like female
Fair
trauma, girl trauma this year in movies.
Hmm.
But not as bad as like Midsummer, but like
I still haven't seen that. I
itching
confess.
closer.
That's
Not
what
missing
horror's
much.
founded on, though. Like, right, like trauma in general, but like mostly female trauma.
That makes sense,
Boogeyman,
though.
and I'm not very sensitive, and I love me like a Stephen King adaptation, but like I'm not gonna lie, that shit fucked me up because I was like, I'm sad for you guys. I understand.
So there's a new movie called that, and it's based on a Stephen King story. See, I'm thinking on that.
It came out in June, I think, in theaters.
See, I'm thinking of that Boogeyman movie that came out. Man, it was terrible with the horrible CGI Boogeyman. I had that one guy from the
Boogie
CW
Nights.
on it. No, it was Boogeyman.
I'm just kidding.
Like Boogeyman should be hitting streaming services for free soon.
It is. It
Oh,
is
it's on Hulu.
already.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Yeah. I watched
Or
it like the other
Disney.
night.
Okay.
Or Disney
Yeah.
Plus, whichever Canada.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look out for it.
What's your favorite ending to a horror movie? The Mist is mine.
I was gonna say The Mist too.
Mist,
Oh,
man.
so you
Ending
guys
of
like
that.
it when
Right away.
people are
Boom.
wrong and sad.
Yeah, The Mist, man. One of the best
Blair
endings
Witch
for
for
me.
me. Blair
Yeah.
Witch.
Oh, I love Blair Witch.
Motherfucker in the corner has never not.
No.
Leah just watched it for the first time a couple years ago. I made her
Again,
watch it.
I don't consume media. I'm
Yeah.
just like here. I just gotta just sit here. And so yeah, that was my first time because it came out like, okay, I'll go ahead and say it. I was sheltered as a kid, and so I didn't get to see all these old movies. Like I didn't get to see this. Now as I got older, like we started watching Halloween and whatnot. And it's not like my parents are like super religious, so it wasn't like that. It was just like they didn't want me to be afraid and climbing in their bed in the middle of the night. I mean, because
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so yeah, Blair Witch, didn't see it. Saw it last year. Was it last year or this year? Last year.
Last year.
That was
Last
so
year
good.
was hell. And that ending happened, and I was like, "What does this mean?" And so I'm just Googling. And
So
the more I
it's so
read
weird,
about it,
yeah.
the more I read it, look, the more I was like, I need to read people's like interpretation. Then I got even more afraid, and I was like, I bet you if I saw this as a kid,
Yeah.
I would have.
That would be
And,
fucked up.
and
messed
that
me up.
tripped. That's what tripped me out because I saw it in 1999. I was 10. So
Oh,
that
God.
final scene in the movie has stuck with me for like 30. I don't know how long ago it was 1999. I'm not good at math. But for like 30 years,
20 some
basically.
years.
Yeah, I'm okay. 20. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
So like 20 years now, like that image has stuck in my head like before I go to sleep, and I'm like, don't
Oof.
think of the worst thing you could think of because I have like bad anxiety, and the first thing I think of is motherfucker standing in the wall. No.
And now it's dark
No.
outside in my den. I don't want to go out
And he's
there.
standing in the corner. Turn around, Jason.
Yeah, I think
What's
that's
wrong?
probably my favorite ending too. You gotta remember too, like we were 1999, so I was like 2 years married, so I was like 23 at the time. So
Oh, man.
this oh god. So anyway, so we didn't have like social media and shit like that, right? So we literally thought this thing was like real.
Yeah.
Like everybody
Yeah.
thought this was found footage.
It's
Like
not like
Yeah.
found footage.
Because they
like,
had
you know
the
what I mean? Like
website,
even up to
It
like
was-
watching the movie, you thought this thing was fucking real. And then
It
when
was
we
a
saw
big
that,
controversy. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a
Oh
big
my
controversy
God.
at the time.
Yeah, my aunt yelled at me for seeing it. She thought I went and saw a snuff film. She's like, "Are you proud of yourself? You saw those kids die." And I'm like, "I don't
Yeah,
think
that's snuff
they're
film.
one of like the greatest marketing strategies ever
Oh,
like because like I said, it's like now you look back at it, you're like, okay, people are like whatever, right? But back then, man,
It was
it was
real.
like it was
Yeah.
something. It scared the shit out of us. And then and then they post up these like fake articles, and they had a
Yeah.
website and all that, and you like scroll
Well
through
done.
it. Holy shit, yeah,
Oh.
it was
They made straight documentaries. They played them on
Yep.
the Learning Channel or like Discovery.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Got on Discovery?
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
they played it on like a legit like proper news.
That's
And it
that's
was
a
nice
movie
to-
that the hype killed it for me because there was so much hype around it before I went and saw it that when I went and
Makes
saw it,
sense,
I was
yeah.
like, so disappointed in it.
It wasn't so much the hype; it was just so. I guess it was
I
like
didn't have the hype.
just
I
like I
enjoyed
said,
it.
you're just thinking it's real, right? You're seeing something that's whatever, right? Because there wasn't like Twitter or whatever. Like people couldn't get on there and debunk the story, right? So there was really nothing that was like.
So what year was that? Was that 2000? Let me see.
99, wasn't it?
It was
99,
Yeah, right around there. Yeah.
Because I remember like that's. I mean.
99, 98.
Let me see. Hold on, y'all. 99. So I remember like we had like our little compact computer, and I used to be like looking around like.
Yeah, and this came out at the time too when it's like we thought as soon as like the clocks turned 2000, planes start falling from the sky, right? And that was it.
Right.
So it was just like a perfect storm.
It was so scary back
then. It was
then.
scary.
Yeah.
The website was real. I was like, this is real, and I don't want to see this. I'm not allowed to see it.
Like I don't know if you and it's it's funny. It's like there's no way that you can duplicate that now.
No.
You know what I mean?
Hindsight,
Because
there was like Cannibal Holocaust, obviously, which led to trials and all kinds of shit, which you couldn't duplicate. But I think it was so far out of people's minds by the time the Blair Witch came out that it was like, no, this is like real. This is real.
Well, like Adrian said, man, this was before social media. Like back in those days, like a lot of people didn't know about Cannibal Holocaust. It was kind of a hidden film that like.
Sorry, I was peeing. I didn't hear all that. I texted Leah, be right back.
I didn't know you was flat out say it, but
I mean,
Return of the Living Dead.
You haven't watched that either.
I would love to have a Discord day where we like just. Well, I would like to do what Adrian's doing. Actually, I was gonna try to do that, like a horror movie at night, but like I just come home and I sleep.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
honestly, you get in a groove. It's like
I got tired.
Usually, like I do it like about an hour and a half, 2 hours before I go to bed. It's just kind of like it just ends my nights. Yeah.
Return of the Living Dead's a classic, man.
It is.
That cemetery dance scene when I was a kid, I was like, oh shit.
Can you show us real fast?
Watch the movie.
No pressure.
Pretty please.
Look, nobody can see you. It's
another
watcher.
It's just us.
Yeah. Another great, I think, ending was The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he jumps out the window and kills himself.
That part scene.
That was great. The ending to that. That was another great ending to a movie.
I just recently rewatched Rosemary's Baby.
Things.
The first one or the original, and when I tell you the most perfect problematic movie I've ever seen, it's such an excellent film on horror, not just like traditional horror, but gender dynamics and life and just living. But then to like juxtapose it to today, it's like such a scary concept, especially with like Roman Polanski.
Oh my
and
God.
Like now that we know what we know about him today, it's like some of the scenes I'm like, what's a fever dream or did you like it?
Yeah, I think he liked it.
Even to this day, it's still like touted as like one of like the most faithful adaptations to a book adaptation. But even then, I'm just like, I'm sure it is the most faithful. You got to do a lot in a little bit of time. But if you have never seen the original, it's such a good movie, and
it's really
Mia
good.
Farrow is the perfect naive New York princess in this movie.
If they time traveled, they couldn't have casted her better.
Not at all. And it's such a, and like in modern perspective, I could see where a lot of people might like shit on it because it is like archaic in a lot of ways. But it's such a good, solid
snapshot of the time.
So good, such a good movie. Probably the last movie I've seen in recent times where like I didn't even touch my phone. Rewatching it was so good. It's such a solid movie.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, y'all are gonna have to like give me a list of movies.
I know my notepad looks crazy right now.
Yeah.
With all the recommendations.
I need it, but also know that I don't do gore.
Okay, so Serbian Tale might be right up your alley. It's literally about pumpkins coming to life.
I'm glad you said the name of the film wrong.
She's telling the truth, y'all.
Yeah.
No, don't look it up. I mean, I'm glad she said the name of the movie wrong. So not like even if
But you know what I'm talking about.
Johnny, what do we need to look up really?
A Serbian tale. She said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll find Fifle the mouse in it. I hope."
Just stay away from the
Possible.
Serbs. Stay away from the Serbs.
A Serbian film. So basically,
No, like you've said enough. You said the name.
listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't agree with the movie. I have never seen it before, but I have read the script and I have read the creator's reasons behind making it. And while I accept the reason why he made the movie, I don't accept why he made the movie. Like, I get it. I truly understand what he was trying to do, but it's also something that I feel like that does not had been made.
I've seen it. Don't
How many
watch
times?
it. 3 times.
Gail, somebody find it.
No, I watched it with other people that wanted to watch it. The other
Oh
two.
no.
So they didn't want to watch it alone. And no, I didn't enjoy it any of the times. Like it's a traumatic watch. It's just as bad as everybody says. Actually, the problem with the movie is it's so fucking depressing because, like Elle said, the movie's a big metaphor. Like everything in it's metaphorically representing, but like his metaphors are so on the nose and so grotesque. It's not worth watching. Like
That's how I feel about Hostel.
No, Hostel is actually a fun movie. Like I can enjoy the hell out of a Hostel.
I will never backpack as a white woman in America.
No,
so,
I
doesn't. I don't want to see it.
I wouldn't go backpacking in Bratislava either, but like I enjoy the film, man. Like and Eli Roth got such a sly humor, man. When like that dude trips on the fingers and man, it's got some really good parts. Like Hostel.
His series on Shudder is solid though.
Yeah.
Hostel is a horror. That shit is so good. I love that show.
What was the cannibal movie that he did?
The Green
Inferno.
Green Inferno, yeah.
Oh no, that got the munchies. Yeah, that's a great film too.
Did it make you a little hungry, maybe?
No, actually, I've never thought about
Soylent Green.
And he tackles the whole eventually they have to go to the bathroom, right? That seems.
Are we talking
Green Inferno?
Human Centipede?
No, Green Inferno, where they're and it's like, and they're all holding out, right? And who's the first one who's gonna actually break the seal, right? When they're in the cage.
No. What's the deal with Jeepers Creepers? I know. So was it the actor who ended up being like a
the director?
Creep? The director.
What happened?
Really? I
The
love that
director.
franchise now. I did love that franchise.
The director, Victor Salva, he directed a movie called Clown House back in the 80s. And when he was making that film, he diddled one of the child actors of this. He like literally used the company's cameras to film it. Like he seemed like he wanted to get caught. So like, well, the funny thing is like when he got out of jail, his good friend Steven Spielberg and what's his name, the Godfather guy. Coppola helped him get his job back.
Just putting fake names out there.
After that, he directed Powder, and then he got the Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
And yeah, he a lot of people say he did his time, but like whatever, like there's certain.
Just don't touch the kids. It's not that hard. Just don't touch them.
Really not that hard.
These fucking guys, like.
And like Roman Polanski, like my biggest thing with him was like how in recent times his like victim came out and took pictures with him and was like, I wasn't a victim, bitch. You were 12. You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
Yes, you were. Like, bitch. Shut up.
Yeah, you couldn't consent.
It's such an embarrassment and like a smear on everything and I already am like, it sucks that he made such great movies.
It really
like,
does.
Don't add to it. Like just disappear. Like just fade to the background.
Something I forgot to mention that Mel posted the new Goosebumps. Is it a series or a movie?
With Justin Long
on Disney Plus.
Yeah, series. Eh? What is that streaming on?
It's on Disney Plus. It's like a more.
That's a Disney Plus. Okay.
Yeah, more mature Goosebumps, which is.
I want to catch that.
Yeah, my kids. Jade, especially my oldest, she loves her some Goosebumps. So
does she?
I know she's already watched it, but I haven't asked her opinion because I don't need it when I watch it. You know what I mean?
I kind of like that Netflix thing he did. What was it? The Fear Street.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
There's 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
I loved, but I grew up reading Fear Street too, so it was like kind of like the edgy Goosebumps. So like when all of my friends were still reading Goosebumps, I was like, "Bitch, I'm on Fear Street. Like you're not even on the same level as me."
That show had some good kills though, man. The girl's head in the bread maker, damn. That was, or the bread slicer. I mean, that was.
Oh yeah.
I don't. I didn't really like the last part of it, but I thought that the
Yeah, I
first
didn't either.
two
It
were
was my
pretty
least
good.
favorite. Yeah.
Definitely, probably like the first part was the best, I would say. But like, I thought it was a pretty fun little thing for what it was.
I didn't get to see it.
Let's see. Another thing I could recommend. What's it called? Let's see.
I also watched that like so I was talking about that Eli Roth where he was talking about like the masters like the horror stuff, and I have never watched it before, but I was so happy to see somebody else point out too that Contagion was absolutely a horror movie. And
Oh
it's one
yeah.
of my favorite movies of all times. And as soon as Joe Hill was like, they peeled Gwyneth Paltrow's head back, I said, thank you. It's a horror movie. It's a horror movie. I've seen that 100 times. It's one of my favorite movies. And it was the very first movie I watched when they were like, COVID-19. I was like,
God.
we all need to watch Hot Zone. We all have to watch.
I can't watch it to this day.
Those are the scariest horror movies to me are pandemic or infection movies are the worst for me. And so I was so glad to finally see other like real people in real positions of like horror
Did
power.
you see that one with Chris Pine from a couple years ago? It was pretty good.
Which
No.
one? What was it called?
Oh man, like it was.
Uh-oh, he said
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
he got snapped.
Pneumatic? Yeah.
Johnny.
Come back, Johnny. Johnny, come back.
He was kind of cutting out a little bit before.
You know that Eli Roth show was great because it's funny how it introduced me to a bunch of movies.
There he is.
Yeah, I made a whole list of like, oh shit, I need to watch this, but like it also reaffirmed a lot of things for me. Like this was hard, like because I used to be like, oh this is drama, this is science fiction drama or something, but like no, it's scary. And like after COVID-19, I remember like watching Contagion and like my husband was like, why are you watching this? I'm like, because it's scary, because it's true. And like it's like Contagion was like almost blow for blow what happened with COVID.
Yeah.
So
Really
like I'm like, this is horror.
Yeah.
Carriers is the name of that movie with Chris Pine. My bad. I went to go look it up and deleted myself.
Carriers.
There's an X-Files episode that forever is burned in my brain. Is season 4 episode 2 called Home. Go watch that if you want to.
Is that the one with the rednecks with the baby buried under the porch?
Yep. That episode. Woo. Oh man, that was crazy. That was like, wasn't the opening episode of season 4? It was the second episode of season 4. So.
Well, the crazy thing is the episode. It barely has Mulder and Scully in it. Like it starts off and you don't know if you're even watching X-Files, man. Like it's like a kind of like messed up horror movie, almost like a long-term type thing. But later on, Mulder and Scully show up, or Sculder and Molly, whatever their names are.
Yeah, that's a great episode. That will definitely get that. If you want a spooky season watch, itch.
Yeah,
that'll
and Station
definitely
19, if you're looking for like a more like melodramatic look at the fallout, like that was really good. I think it was on HBO last year. It was based on the book, which is also Chef's Kiss, one of my favorite books in recent times, dystopian wise. But it handled like infection and like the fall of man beautifully. Because I don't know. Some people will say it's science fiction, but to me, dystopian is always hard because it mimics like
clairvoyance
so clearly. Yeah. Like you're one bad decision away from this is reality right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You ever see Pontypool? It's kind of a weird movie about
with the radio station.
Yeah, about the word. Like as long as it makes sense to you when you hear it, like it'll make you like it was such a weird idea, wonderful.
Like if I kept saying weird idea, and then all of you guys just like jumped out your windows, it wouldn't be my fault because it's Pontypool. But that's also like, again, I told you guys before, I love movies that are like feel claustrophobic, and Pontypool would absolutely be one because like they're stuck in this one station. I don't even think they leave the radio station, do they?
No, they talk to the guy outside in his car. That's that's the only outside you get. Most of it actually takes place in the sound booth too. Like he goes out to the office a couple times, but it takes place in the radio station, and you can hardly tell though. Like there's a lot that goes on, and The dialogue carries it. Like I forget the actor's name, but like you'll recognize him. He kind of looks like a really skinny Lance Hendrickson, but man, does he carry this film very well.
Mhm.
Like he played the senator in 300. That's like the first thing that really comes to mind that like I recognize him from. He's kind of an Asian-looking dude.
He is a man of a certain age.
Yeah, there you go.
Anybody got like any really fun comic book recommendations? Like Joe brought up earlier, man, 30 Days a Night. Like that is a really, really good horror comic adaptation, man. Of course, they added a lot to it because if they just adapted the comic, it would probably be about a 10-minute long movie. But I think
Something Juicy.
Okay.
That was I think it was Black Caravan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Black Caravan. Yeah, that was good. It was a one shot too. Yeah.
I have to check that out.
I am comics, but I don't have a recommendation right now.
You've never read a horror comic? Come on, girl, think deep.
Oh, I have.
You have? What is it? Say it. You're right there. You're right on the precipice.
Conjuring.
Okay, no, not that one. That one didn't end up being good. I'm sorry.
That was one that was directly tied into the movie.
Yeah, it was not that great. So when she came to visit the last time,
what's the name of it?
When she came to visit? When she came? What are we talking?
What's the name of the comic that I read when I was at your house?
Nice House on the Lake.
Oh,
you're talking about the Colin Bunn one.
Harrow County. You read Harrow County?
No.
No.
The one with the powers.
She had her eyes.
Not the gun.
They were killing everybody because they absorbed their powers.
Oh crap! I can't think of the name of that one.
Man.
You know which one I'm talking about? They
Yeah,
were every time they killed one of the members of the people who had powers, they would grow more powerful because they would absorb.
Black Banner?
No.
Why does he have to be so prolific? I can't think of which one it is.
Trying to pick a Colin Bunn book out of the void.
Oh,
It starts
damn.
with a B, maybe?
It's a word. It's a word that I read.
What's the B?
Yeah, it's a
word.
It is
Okay,
a word.
yeah.
You're right.
You're right.
It was fantastic. I really liked that series actually, and I even have a bunch of variants, but I couldn't think of the name of it off the top of my head. There you go. It's
What else do you need?
it's There you go. But yeah, it was good. It was there was the leader, and then there was the people with powers, and they all had powers.
I just Googled comic with girl with eye powers.
Wow, you could have put Colin Bunn. Colin Bunn comic.
Man, that's gonna be a long list.
I got Emerald Empress, not her.
Colin Bunn.
Colin Bunn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, BUNN.
Girl with eye powers.
Basilisk.
Basilisk.
I know it started with a B.
That's it.
I said everybody knows it because Harry Potter. That's it.
That's where everybody knows. Nobody's ever heard of a basilisk until Harry Potter.
Parcel tongue, motherfuckers.
Everybody because of Harry Potter. Well, I didn't know the word before Harry Potter.
But yeah, basilisk. I put her onto that when it was like first started popping.
Good. It was good. And then I went to my local comic shop to try to get like the next one, and they were mean to me, so I just never read it again.
Aww,
AKA she never went inside.
I did go inside, and they were like,
didn't have it. And
they looked at this.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
hey, comic book guys and comic shops act weird when girls walk in sometimes.
That's so true. It's very intimidating.
This is really weird.
Yeah.
You get the stare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
And so, like, if I get something, Elle either has to call to make sure they have it.
I do. I call her local comic shop to see if they have something to let her.
So
Mind
sweet.
you, if I have to call somebody, I'm like, no, let me just die.
Yeah, but she'll call for me, and so then like I'll go in because I'm like, all right, I know they have it, so let me just look first. Because like one time I went in there, I was like, hey, can you tell me where this is? And he was like. Mm-hmm. It looked like it was like the most cumbersome thing that he would ever have to do. And I was like, oh, I can look. I'll go look. Mm-hmm. And then I just walked out.
Then you start crying and then...
I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but like it's funny that Tara brought up Six Gun because they're actually the unaired pilot was finally leaked online.
Ooh,
It
really?
was up earlier this month. I watched it. It's pretty good. It's got Pedro Pascal in it. Like,
Wait, what'd you say
Woo.
it was?
Zaddy
Line
Pascal.
up.
yeah,
Which,
it was the Six Gun.
Yeah,
Like,
Cart.
they
I
did.
know
There was an
about the
unaired
Seventh
pilot
Gun.
that they made for it.
Mhm.
2013. It used to be up on YouTube. Let me see if it's still up on there.
Is it animated?
No, it's a live action show. It's pretty good
Okay.
too.
Well,
Hmm.
guess that's
I mean, you can say it a little bit more excitedly, Joe. You don't have to say it.
What's happening right now?
Is he happy? You said is he halved? What does that mean?
Greece?
Is that Canadian?
So what's happening right now? So I'm trying to-
I don't know, but we can just fill in the blanks.
Got a little
Joe, what's
intermission
going on
going on.
with your tablet?
Oh my god, I can't.
What's the charge at? Oh, yeah.
I've gotta
Did you
read
hear
this.
what
I haven't read it yet.
Ryan done? And
Yeah, that's
it's
a good
it's
one.
an excellent book. I have it on my shelf when it dropped. I know my local comic shop had nobody else who reserved it at the time, so they were looking at me like, "What the fuck is your problem?"
Mm-mm.
And
Such a good book, though.
it's an excellent book. It is, especially if like you like Leatherface and you want some more context onto
And
that.
shout
kind
out
of
to
shit.
Matt just vicariously for that. Yeah,
I've had it for 2 years and I still haven't read it.
Relatable.
totally.
I should
But
put
that was one of the ones that I like picked up.
I found the
And,
pilot. It's still on YouTube. I posted it in the chat.
Ooh, really?
Watch the Six Gun pilot.
And what channel?
Where do
was
I
this
find
on?
that?
It's on YouTube. It's the only
No,
place.
like, but what channel was it meant for?
It looks like the CW, if I had to guess, but I don't know for sure.
Can't say anything because I've been watching Sullivan's Crossing.
Ooh,
Don't shoot
Ah.
me. Don't
Well, just-
do it.
Well,
not hazing.
the special effects really remind me of Supernatural. That's why I say CW.
There you go.
As
Yeah.
a Winchester boy, like I love that show.
As a WB. For WB.
I never thought about it.
I'm on the Winchester mailing list somehow, Johnny, so I understand.
Yeah, man, Colin Bunn for Halloween. He's got a lot of really good ones, man. Like I would really recommend, like I said earlier, Harrow County. Like if you know,
Yeah, Harrow County.
dude, it is so good. It's probably one of the most fun witchcraft stories I've read. Just really good, wholesome horror comic too. It's funny to say that, but like with the horrific characters, but there's no other way to say it. But it's kind of wholesome, right? It's kind of adorable about it. That's why I always.
Yeah. I can't find it, but the book 2 of what's the name of that book? The one that we covered, Johnny, with the Asian brother and sister, and the parents are
the Night Eaters. The
Night Eaters. Book 2 is out now. It just dropped, I think, a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Marjorie Liu and Sana Takada. Beautiful artwork. Really fun Asian American story. Got a lot of humor to it. A lot of heart.
Yeah. That book 2 just dropped recently, and that's if you're looking for something to read for the Halloween season. That's a good one. So, I mean, aside from that, I can't think of anything else really. Johnny, you picked up that Ghost Rider, right? The annual.
Yeah, the Ghost Rider Halloween special, which I thought was pretty cute. I didn't actually expect it to be like a Halloween special.
So pretty cute and Ghost Rider in the same.
Well, it's like we were talking about, like it was almost like a TV special. Like he actually literally had to fight the spirit of Halloween, and it's like this big jack-o'-lantern monster. So, like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty.
That sounds like fun
for what it was. You know what I mean? I didn't expect that out of like a modern Marvel comic, and I thought that Ben Percy and I forget the artist on that issue really nailed it. Plus, it had my favorite recent Marvel character, the Hood, in it. He was the villain. I always get happy when he shows up, even though like he wasn't written the best in this series. Like,
because I've read like the first 15 issues of Percy's run of Ghost Rider just out of pure curiosity, and he almost lost me at that drag race to hell with all the other Marvel characters, and they all had like themed motorcycles. It felt very Little Tykes.
He goes wacky racers with it, man.
Yeah,
That's
there's
awesome.
there's like an
Wacky racers.
issue where like they're all driving like I'm Black Panther and I'm driving a Black Panther theme because whoever wins like a wish from the devil or something, like wins a wish from hell. And so like Wolverine's ride is like Wolverine themed. Like and I was like, wait a minute, is this like one of my kids' books or is this because it was so on theme, it was so like themey, it felt icky.
Well, they might have actually been making fun of something because I remember when they first had the Toy Biz X-Men figures, like Wolverine had like this really haggard motorcycle that like everybody made fun of when the toy came out because like Wolverine doesn't have a motorcycle. So, but I just started reading his run. Like I haven't gotten too far, but that's kind of the cool thing about Ghost Rider is like because he was such a grindhousey type character that like a lot of people can take his stuff to kind of like some kind of silly horror stuff. I can't defend what Percy's did. I haven't read that issue, but I don't know.
It's a very approachable Ghost Rider. I'll say that. Like it doesn't feel pretentious. It doesn't feel like I'm so fucking a badass. Like it doesn't feel like none of that. Like it's a very approachable. Like anybody can jump in on this run, and they leave a lot of like conjecture at the beginning where like every issue is like telling you on the first page, as Marvel does because they don't believe their readers are readers. They retell you what happened in the last few issues. So I feel like it's a very approachable Ghost Rider series. And it's like if you've never read a Ghost Rider, it's like classic Ghost Rider shit.
Well, like the way they set this one up, you got a guided tour anyways. Like you're it's not really about Johnny Storm. He's got this kind of sidekick. What's her name? The witchy girl, right?
Yeah, with the FBI agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mostly learn everything through her anyway. So if you didn't know anything about Ghost Rider, this is like perfect jump on point. But the cool thing is I like the way the character's written. I think she's pretty fun. So I'm
absolutely
kind of digging it. Like I just like 3 issues in, I started reading it because me and Joe, like I said, are going to be talking about some Ghost Rider stuff.
I'm looking forward to that.
I like.
Are you guys talking Ghost Walker or just Rider?
Is there a Ghost Walker book too? I'm. He doesn't sound too interesting, but.
Hey guys, I gotta jam. My battery's like I'm gonna die any minute here.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on my phone, so anyway.
Thanks for joining us, man. Take it easy.
I'll talk to you later. Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Leah, Adrian was a serious adult creator. Like he has serious adult books and stuff, and you were just over here.
Stop it!
What was I doing?
Nothing.
Do anything,
wrong.
Like, do anything.
Well, I guess we could call it a night there for the recording. So, any last closing remarks or recommendations for people for the Halloween season? Any books, shows that you would suggest people would go check out before we go?
So if you guys have never watched Richard Scary before, it's actually pretty busy and pretty scary.
Richard Scary, like the kids thing?
The Worm.
Yeah.
The Worm.
I was kidding, but it is on Amazon. In case.
Hey, when's the Freddy Five Nights at Freddy movie coming out?
October
yeah, that's
26th,
soon.
I believe. My daughter has a countdown on her wall.
There's
on
a trailer
her
now, right?
erasable. Yes, there's plenty of trailers. She has a countdown. My sons have relentlessly bullied her about
Poor
Corey
Jay.
Kenshin being in the movie and how that's her boyfriend in secret. But my daughter is so like psyched for that shit, and I'm so excited for her. I'm also really happy that they acknowledge that even though it's like theater times now, they could have easily not had it like co-stream. They could have easily just done all theaters, but they are playing it on Peacock and theaters simultaneously. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that because I do have 2 boys that are, 7 and 5 that I don't feel prepared for a horror theater experience, but my 12-year-old is. And so I appreciate that I can take one to the theater and the other 2 can watch at home,
So there's
I love that.
Saw is out now. You got that Exorcist movie, Believers.
Oh God, yeah.
Two.
movie.
aka Two
Prefer the
Priests.
original.
Did you say believers, like as in Justin, or
Yeah.
believers?
Or Believer? I don't know. Isn't
Believer.
that what it's called?
Yeah, two girls, one pope.
Oh,
From
girls,
the
one
internet.
Yeah. So you got that. What else is out? Anything else coming
The
out?
Fall of the House of Usher is out if you guys are into that kind
Yeah,
of
that's a
Let's get to
TV
the
bad
show.
shit.
are. Yeah.
Netflix.
What else is
The-
dropping in theaters though?
Creative?
the Beyonce movie.
That already dropped. The
Oh, yeah,
Beyonce
KK
concert
too.
drops December
that-
1st. That's
is that-
that's a little bit of ways, Leah.
Is that
Doesn't-
scary?
Doesn't
Hmm.
Taylor Swift have a concert too? That's
Yeah, it dropped
Yes,
October
Taylor Swift.
13th today. Her favorite number. Ah.
Uh-oh. So the world might possibly be ending right now. That's one of the
And
seven.
Beyonce went to her opening show
Mhm.
for the.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, it was
She
cute.
did. She showed
Nice.
it.
To help
That was
break
smart.
the seal. Yeah.
To
Yeah.
get the black vote, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
You want to PO this?
I love Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Folklore and
T-Swifty.
T-Swizzle.
August is my favorite Taylor Swift song.
Okay.
Which one?
August?
I thought it would be Cardigan because, you
I know
know,
that one.
crochet, but.
No, it's not that. Hold on.
Oh,
What's your
full
favorite
name,
crochet
Leandra, I mean. Long.
You're a dick.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Sorry you have to.
I'm sorry, my apologies.
well. So I
Roll.
mean, what
We
else?
didn't get your favorite
Make it
Taylor
stop,
Swift song,
Joey.
Joe.
What's that?
We didn't get your favorite Taylor Swift song, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Look
fuck,
what
I
you
don't
made
know.
me do.
Anti-hero for me.
No, I don't know that one.
Anti-hero?
Anti-hero?
Yeah.
He's a shake me off kind of guy, I think.
Shake me off. He's a shake me
Shake
off.
it off. Shake it
Oh,
off.
I know that one. That one played on the radio.
I feel
quite
like he's a
bit.
classic. I feel like he's a love story.
Plain.
That could work.
Mhm. What's the other one?
Cool summer?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know that one. I don't think.
Man,
Trust me.
I trust you, sorry.
Is it the one with
Thank you,
T-Pain? With T-Swizzle?
See, I stopped
T-Pain had a
listening.
song with
I
him.
I think I stopped listening to the radio when she got like blew up big time.
Yeah.
So
That was
haven't
your
do it.
number one. You said, you know what? Yours a reason I hate, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
stupid.
but I know the shake one there. That one I
Yeah,
know.
shake it off. Okay.
Shake it off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one I know.
song.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, good for her. I mean,
Yeah.
You're
all
in
the
an
all the
era.
power to her. Mm.
Lanny, Travis Kelsey, too.
Ugh.
No, don't even get me started.
Yeah. I love sports. It's Brittany Mahomes curling her hair for the game.
Oh, yay.
Just started. I said, girl, if you don't stop.
Stop.
All
Alright.
right.
So this has been
Yeah, it's been for one night. How'd we get here only?
How did we get for one night here only?
How did I get for one night
Stay
only?
here for one night.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That was good.
And
Keeper.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Anyone who catches the replay.
Yeah.
Man, have a great weekend, everyone.